Are you ready for a short track race? Welcome everyone to tonight's coverage of the Full Length Cup Challenge. As for the first time since the 1990s, racing for points is at North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's the Dale Jr.'s Lawncare Service 450, and it's here, a part of the FLCC on Maconi Entertainment. Welcome to tonight's coverage. I'm Justin Prince, alongside the booth for tonight's Kirk Mills. Howie Burrows is our producer for this evening's coverage for what will be a 280-mile-plus race for 450 laps. To say the very least, this race is expected to be challenging. This is the new version of North Wilkesboro, and it gets a chance to showcase itself tonight.
Absolutely right. All I can tell you, man, is we got ourselves one heck of a racetrack. I love what they did with this place. However, these cars, they are not made for this place. Absolutely not. It's going to be one of them things where I hope these cars can keep them underneath, keep themselves on the racetrack, pointing in the right direction. But again, it's short track racing. We saw how that handles no matter what short track you go to. I think the name of the game tonight, survival, and you're going to see that starting now all the way through to, how many laps? 450 laps of this thing.
Remember, the points look like this coming into tonight. Sean Conklin well ahead of the field with his teammate Dylan Basin in the Ryko camp and RFK, no matter what you talk about for that. Lucas Hoitzman, Jonathan Delaney amongst those in the top four. Then you have Nicholas Vrolman. Vrolman is currently vrooming in the top five. Remember, Basin coming off the win from Echo Park. But the pressure is on for the cut, as we've seen with Tanner Marty, up by just one. It is pretty close right now, to say the very least, Kirk. And that was with the Super Speedway, where we've seen one of the drivers that have dominated the season up at the top. Tonight's going to be an interesting one, just with the matter of being a short track race with a fairly decent incident limit, and it being a track notorious in real life, known for historical long green flag runs.
That may be true in real life. I can tell you right now, this might not be so true to life. I hope it is. I mean, I am begging. I am hoping. I'm here on the edge of my seat, and I can tell you, I am so hoping that we get the chance to be able to see something amazing happen tonight. There's 31 cars, I believe, that I see in warm-up right now going to be racing tonight. A lot of guys have a dream to just finish the dang race, but I'd say really contending-wise, maybe about 12 cars out of the 31 have a good shot of winning if they are in the right place at the right time. But there are, of course, the main dominant ones we've seen all season. Conklin, for example, he's been dominant all year long. Basin, who just won last week. And then, of course, you got the regular guys who could actually win week in and week out. Vrolman, for example. You got Delaney up front. Another, the whole Hoitzma. There's Benefiel even. There's a lot of names that are going to pop up, show up, try to be up front all night long. Dyson even. Who knows? If I didn't call your name, sorry. It's just the first ones that come to mind. We're going to have ourselves quite a good one here this afternoon.
It's important to mention we are in the semifinal for the in-season tournament as well. However, the 16 of Matthew David Wood not here tonight. He was matched up with Adam Benefiel. That gives Benefiel a path to the advancement of either Ralph Hutchinson or Bobby Anderson to decide who wins at the Brickyard, the in-season challenge. Qualifying took place and will be for the final time for a while on Friday and Saturdays. It will be combined into the race session starting next week at the Brickyard. But how did that independent qualifying session go? Well, these drivers getting themselves ready with Sean Conklin in control of the field alongside Joseph Galata. Then, running tonight in one of the Price Chopper cars, that is a car in the paint scheme for the Kansas City Pioneers. Lucas Hoitzma, Robert Miller is in the fourth position. Dylan Basin starts fifth tonight. With the reason for that, you see that reserve driver for KC's esports team, Blake Giglio, will make an appearance in the 8 car here tonight in sixth. Seventh goes to Ralph Hutchinson, driving a Boston Celtics theme paint scheme here tonight, or rather CC O'Brien's, which has a similar colored scheme for its 30th anniversary from last year. Noah Hodgson is in the top 8. Top 10, Alan Dunker, Jonathan Delaney.
Starting in 11th this afternoon will be the driver, the number 1, Dustin Hall, alongside Adam Benefiel in the 83, starting 11th and 12th. 13th, Jun Salim, pretty quick, alongside Casey Graves in the 01, 13th, 14th. 15th this afternoon will be Cliff Mullins in the 44, great qualifying effort, alongside Kyle Ammon in the 59 machine. Starting in 17th will be Thomas Kulmacheski alongside Corey Moore in the 42. Starting in 19th will be Tanner Marty in the 29 alongside Sean O'Brien Jr. in the 65.
Then you have Hunter Trula down in 21st tonight. Stephen Williams 22nd this evening. Throw it back a row, you'll find William Owens alongside Brian Wortman, who makes an appearance in the 74 car. Brandon Hastings is here tonight alongside Evan Mesnard. Hastings busy with truck racing, but it's within an hour of Charlotte. It's easy to get home after. Ted Medeiros in 27th. Jose Medina 28th. That leaves there's 3 left. Nicholas Vroman from Vroom alongside Bobby Anderson, and Tyler Hunter is at the tail for tonight. Feel just about ready.
Folks.
Here we go.
Reach down, pull them belts tight one more time from North Wilkesboro. Conklin, Galata on the front row, through that restart zone. Biggity, biggity, biggity. Let's go racing, boys.
Good start for Galata, taking the lead away from Conklin to begin. Conklin trying to attack the top of the racetrack. Same for a lot of people here. Getting things off. This is nothing like the 1987 version of this facility. This track with the newer pavement still has its bumps and still has its elevation. But it's pretty clear a lot of people not afraid to track up the track to begin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're already getting loose. We saw that 17 car get a little bit of a wiggle on the exit of turn 2. I can tell you right now, a bad bump on the exit of turn 4 is really screwing with some of these guys on the exit of 4. Side-by-side battle I'm looking at right now is on your screen. You can see the 12 of Nolan Hodgson, 19 of Ralph Hutchinson side-by-side in turn 1 and 2.
Hutchinson in a good spot to begin things off with the in-season challenge, at least in track position game. But really speaking here, you were talking with some of the drivers. There's a lot of concern to make sure these drivers preserve their equipment, I guess you could say, in that with the bump situation, this track is a hard one to actually set up for compared to a normal short track for the iRacing circuit.
Yeah, because it starts to bottom out at different times. The longer you run, you'll start seeing the car bottom out in places you may not have done if you didn't practice that much. We heard that from a couple of the drivers telling us that over the course of the run, it's going to change. And into the night, it's going to change. It's a long way to go. 450 laps around this place. They got to keep their tempers underneath them and make sure that they keep the car pointing in the right direction the entire way.
And an interesting thing to note, one of the major things when they still had the older version for North Wilkesboro was some setup builders would build it for third gear running. Some would run it with the next gen for fourth gear. Some design it for shifting. Every single car when scanning to the field is starting off in fourth gear and sticking in it. No shifting to start off the night at least.
At least it throws it back to what we used to do in them old cars, stick it in third gear, fourth gear, and hope it sticks. You don't really shift that often on the short tracks back in like 2010, 2011. Nope, you stay fourth gear all the way around. I can tell you right now, though, Galata's getting a lot of pressure. You're on board right now with Conklin, and even Conklin's got some pressure. You got the 15 of Robert Miller right on his tail, too. It's kind of like a little train of 3 cars. 17's really putting on the pressure, though, in the 99.
He's been trying the inside, been trying the outside. Might actually do the outside for the pass if he can make it to the quarter panel. Didn't stick, though. Galata is slower, though. There's the inside block. Now it's the hit to the bumper. Conklin wants to go, but the 99's not making it easy.
Oh, he's making it fun. That's what matters. He's just saying, hey, it's early in the race. I want to try and race for this lead. Having control of the race is such a big deal. Clean air is dominant. We see that 17. He knows the importance of clean air. He's been that way all season long. But that 99 Galata knows that he cannot let that 17 up front, or that 17 might just check out.
And mind you, with this intense battle, this entire top 5 is 2 to 3 tenths quicker than everybody else in the racetrack to start. Galata and the Bigfoot Chassis Collective. You have the Ryko machine involving Conklin. You have Outlier powering the SLOW machine for Miller. You have Giglio in his situation doing base in a Ryko machine. 3 or 4 different power plants, actually, that are amongst your top 5 to start things off, running pretty near identical pace up here compared to everybody else. Is pretty interesting, to say the least, how these 5 are already knocking the time down better than the entire rest of the pack.
Makes me worried.
Spin on the front straightaway. Caution. And it's going to be
Mesnard.
the 73. Yes. Mesnard around for the caution, our first of the night.
Well, hopefully he can stay on the lead lap. Get rolling, buddy. Get rolling, get rolling, get rolling. There he goes. I think he's going to stay on the lead lap barely, but as long as he listens to what iRacing Sim tells him to do, unlike some folks. Here we go. You can take a look right here. 30 car in front of them got loose. 73 checked up for the 30, and the 5 car, Bobby Anderson, gets some front end damage, spinning the 73 out. It's just a chain reaction. You're going to see the 30 car start getting sideways. 73 reacts, and the 5 has nowhere to go.
Bobby Anderson also picked up heavy contact to the rear as a result of that contact. That was Devin Medeiros, who picked up the heavy nose damage from that. Only about 16 laps of the race. Now, here's the talking point. We haven't touched upon the race analysis, if you will, tonight yet. The stage distance. Remember, 80 for the first one, 265 for the second, and we have 7 tire sets in the pits. A decent amount of tire sets, but that second stage is, wow, that's long.
Yeah, that just means we're going to have a little bit of a fun run there at the for stage 2. I'm always a big fan of that, but you can see 20 car Medeiros, he's going to have to come down pit road to get that damage repaired, even though pit road's closed. He might as well just take the L now. And the good thing is that this happened early in the race for these guys. The earlier it happens, the longer you got to fix the problem. They can go down pit road, repair this damage. They could technically lose a lap, and as long as they run clean for the rest of the way, it is absolutely possible that they would be able to, as they would say, come back from that particular instance of mistake. So it's pretty good stuff. Galata, though, did a great job holding off Conklin for that beginning part of that run.
Now, it's an important thing to note here as Medeiros tries to stay on the lead lap here, that it's possible that race control could close pit road the first time around because it is a back straightaway pit entry when it comes to North Wilkesboro. Remember, the 87 version didn't have that yet. They extended the pit lane to add more pit stalls around the 1990s. And that means you're going to have the pace car come out and you're immediately potentially have pit road either open for some but not all, or very, very quickly to the point where you might have to dodge the barrels. So they will extend the cautions throughout the night to make sure that pit road can open properly for the whole field and everyone has a fair effort to make it to the pit lane. Galata chose the outside over Conklin. Restart on the high side here, but it will be pretty straightforward. It's an extra caution lap precaution here.
Yeah, I can also share this with you. Evan Mesnard was put 1 lap down, so he ended up having to come down and losing a lap there. That's not going to help him out much, but as you can see, everybody's getting doubled up, ready for this restart. Pace car pit road, and King Galata hanging on to the lead again. We'll see if the 17 has anything for him on this restart.
Watch for the launch this time. Here they come into the restart zone. Early launch. Galata clear. Conklin. Oh boy, he nearly came right up in front of Basin there. Hold on a moment.
RFK teammates getting close to each other. Oh, good Lord.
Is that a lane change? We'll have to see if race control says anything from that.
Oh, let me take a look at that.
You remember, that was close for him to actually cut in front of the 06 there. I think he stopped himself towards the middle of the straightaway. But right now, everybody's sticking to the top here, as it looks like the 74 of Wortman comes back down pit road. Everybody else, choo-choo train to start.
Race control is going to have a heck of a decision because it looks like he changed half a lane but then gave it back. I don't know if that's, I mean, it's such a close picture here from what I can see. That's as close as it gets. But back here, everybody's just getting situated. Nolan Hodgson there in the 12 battling just outside of 8th place. You can see the 6 car Delaney currently hanging on to that 8th place spot. This is just on the cusp of getting outside of the top 10, so still sitting within a good spot.
Anderson Hickspaw on the box here tonight. Bobby Anderson also in it for the time being, but still racing. But all that being said here, as the 74 tries to let the entire field go, it's going to get interesting how things fare out for, in general, some of the pass opportunities. You see Conklin taking a lot more time to get things wound up to get to the bumper this time. It's not as easy compared to the initial start of the race for him.
Yeah, definitely not as easy, to say the least. I can tell you that over the course of the run, we're going to see how well tires are able to hang up, how good that they are of hanging on to the speeds. And what I can see is, based on the lap times, they are not falling off practically at all. It is very minimum fall off, within just 1/10. So not much tire wear so far, 26 laps in.
Yeah, so far so solid when it comes to the pace, I guess you can say. Lim, near again, he's near contact. Dustin Hall says it's all good on the radio. One of the EPI drivers back in the field here tonight. Looking pretty solid in practice earlier, but hasn't picked up any spots yet. Oh, up in the wall, Hudson. The 12 ended up going up in the wall after getting loose down the straightaway in front of Benefield.
Very odd. Let's take a look and see what happened in that one car. You can see, sorry, that 12 car rather. Oh yeah, he just got, I don't know. That's might be a net code, might just got loose. Close enough to where I can't really call it.
I don't know if that's just the arrow, possibly with the, take the arrow off the spoiler, but that's down the straightaway. I don't think most people are expecting that tonight. Remember, that's been a big thing, is aerodynamics have become a major talking point these days with this car.
Yeah, you're right. Aerodynamics has been a giant pain for most folks out here. I'll tell you, this car is a pain to drive. That's the truth, and the drivers would agree with me. They do not like driving these cars, but you know, we have faith that hopefully iRacing will turn it around at some point, or at least hope.
There's
and
a lot.
Sorry about that. It was the 12 who just got loose. I went and looked at it again.
Yeah.
Noah Hodgson just got loose. No net code. It was just a loose exit.
On that note, Robert Miller putting up some good speed, as we mentioned in the first run. He's doing it in the second here. Oh, he got loose, though. Got too close with the bump, maybe. Yes, he did. I'm noticing with that bump that we've talked about in turn 4, it's almost like you can see where the bump is with the sun. Right in the exit of 4, the lane goes from a flatter angle by 2 to 3 degrees, then goes sharper. It's right about the white. You see where the white lines are? Watch how weird it gets in that part of the racetrack with these dash marks, with the way the hill works. Because remember, one part they're going downhill, one part they're going uphill.
Yeah, that could really upset the car, get the car loose. That's exactly what we've seen. But, I mean, one car I got my eye on is Hutchinson. Take a look at this. He's going to the outside of Hoytsma here. This is for position number 6. And just like that, the 19 moves up a spot. I got to say, that 19 the last few weeks has had a ton of speed. He's been quick, but unfortunately for him, there's just one car who's been dominant all year long, and that was Conklin, able to take the wins away in most of those races, except for last week where his teammate Mason was able to take it after a chaotic crash across the line. So, I mean, his first win of the season's coming. I think Hutchinson, if he continues, one of these races are going to work in his favor, and he's looking to the inside of trying to get to the playoff here. Sorry, not the playoff. Let's try it again. The chase. There we go. Don't ever say playoff again. Here we go.
Yep. Here's the angle we're talking about again one more time. Right there. Pretty harsh in terms of that difference from the bottom of the track towards the middle of the top. That's going to catch a lot of people off guard. We talked about the over and under we have is 4. We might see in terms of spins. We already had 1 here tonight, near 2. Meanwhile, Benefield, one of those that's sticking below where that bump is. He's got the run on Delaney here. One of the drivers who's good at tracks like Martinsville and tracks where you have to use heavy brake. Able to make a move in the Conti car.
Oh, he's a good short track racer in general. I mean, no matter what you put that 83 in, he can run really well on a short track. Even if it's these cup cars that are a pain to race on a short track. He knows how to drive it. And he does the bottom better than anybody. You can see that there. He doesn't wrap it because he can't wrap this bottom here in turns 1 and 2. I think 3 and 4 is a little bit more common to wrap the bottom, and that's exactly what you're seeing. He stays right on that white line, 3 and 4. And I think that that's going to benefit him in the long run. Only time will tell if it's going to be that big of a factor, considering the fall off just hasn't been seen that high yet.
Yeah, the fall off is starting to reach near 1 second, but it took 40 plus laps to get there, about halfway through the stage with pace laps. So it's taken some time to really work in these Goodyear Eagles. Once again, we're already seeing the challenges seem to be there to actually build up the runs. Miller's gone the wrong way on this. You're still falling on with the 8 now in the top 4. One of those that looks for an opportunity potentially to fill in for some NASCAR competition this year for his team. Doing well. Here's Benefield. He's made an air move for 6, by the way. He's the fastest in Pack 3.
He's definitely running dang fast. That 83, like I said, he can wrap the bottom better than anybody, and it seems like he's saved tire a little bit better than most. And on the march towards the front, but now he's got this problem. Take a look at this huge gap he's got to overcome to get to Robert Miller's back bumper. It's about 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds. And so now you just think qualifying time. Lay down the laps, don't burn your stuff up, and just run as fast as you can, lap after lap, and eventually you'll get to the back bumper of Miller if you do things right.
Yes, indeed. Take a look, meanwhile, in the battle for 3rd we were referring to. Here's Giglio.
Ooh.
Looking for a place to poke. Dylan Basin. Last time, dropped to the 19.3s to a 19.2 for the 8 machine. So, little bit downward on the mark for the 06 right here. Still protecting the bottom, though, to make sure the 8 doesn't get the cut. He is going to the bumper, though. Just can't get enough to get to the quarter panel.
Yeah, short track racing for you, you're going to use your bumpers. I mean, that's something that some folks really believe. They like using that bumper. Others really like to use the racing lines to create runs where others might not see them coming. 8 car down on the bottom this time doesn't use the bumper. He's got the run, and I think Bason's just letting him go. Bason absolutely just let him go that time.
No, he's a little bit faster here. One of those with pro license, whether with the purple or the black stripe, in this field this evening. 19, meanwhile, running up in the front moments ago. I think it's fallen off here. Black flag machine has all of a sudden dropped to 10. The speed over the past few laps, the past 5, has dropped off 0.2 more than everybody else. 19 is on the struggle bus as the leaders catch lap traffic.
Yeah, we're starting to get close. Brian Workman's just about maybe 9 car lengths in front of the leader right now. He's got a ways to go to get there. But once he does, this is going to start looking like an old retro style of Bristol, because the leader's got to start navigating slower traffic. And this slower traffic's fall off is 10 times worse than the leaders, because the leaders got themselves a car that's set up right, driving good, they don't have any problems, but they're about to catch guys that may have just got the setup an hour ago. So because of that, this is going to be quite a struggle bus to get through these slow cars for a while.
Steve Miller trying to take advantage of Bason's pace drop. Couldn't take advantage of the inside here. And obviously that's going to impact with the traffic how well the 99's driving with clean air. No longer going to have clean air. Dirty air going to be big. Miller gets the says thank you on the radio with the push the button. He jumps up to 4th position. And this is where we might see a lot of need to give and take here, because as some of these drivers get close up to these lappers, you're going to have to pick your spots on how hard you're willing to fight here.
I mean, you always got to pick and choose. That's the best part about racing, in my opinion. The leader just got by one of them, though, one of the lap guys. But yeah, you're right. Pick and choose. You got to be able to make sure you find the time to fight, find a lay back. And I think Basin has chose to wait this first stage out. It's not a big deal. He's already won a handful of races this year. He's already been doing a great job all year long, but now he's learning. I mean, he kind of knows how his car feels. He knows what adjustments him and his team are going to need to do to be able to make it work. Up front, though, take a look here. Giglio's caught up to the back bumper of Conklin for 2nd place.
Yeah, it's reeled him on in because Conklin's falling off all of a sudden. He's running the same pace as the leader, but all of a sudden went from being close to the 99, but in the past few laps, lost him. Now parking to the inside.
Yeah, he's giving shots in the bumper on the exit of turn 4. Saw that a couple times. He might do it here in 1-2. Nope, he gets to the bottom. Not quite enough of a run. And while this all happens, they're chasing down Galata. They're going to get there. But that 8 car, look how close he gets to the back bumper. He's like less than 2 inches away from that 17. One bobble from the 17, and guess what? That car might get a shot and a spin. You got to be very careful. Look at the 8 car going to the outside.
Trying to take it away. It's not as easy as it was with Basin. There was give and take there. There's a lot of trying to fight for it from Conklin here. Giglio would just say, I'll just pass you here on the high side. Thank you very much. P2 for the 8 car. As Galata is now alongside William Owens just about. He's got Mesnard as the buffer car in between him and second.
You know, that 8 car's fast. Real fast early in the run, because you got to remember this, folks. You got 450 laps. The sun's going to go down. And when that sun goes down, this track is going to change. And when that happens, some cars that may not be competitive right now will be super competitive because they built their setup to be a night car, not a day car. That 8 car's got a day car so far. Does he have the ability to adjust it into the night? Time will only tell. He's on the inside of 2. The 73 of Mesnard, who we saw going around, the 30 of William Owens as well going a lap down. But that 8 car's closing in on Galata.
Finding in some time. Still at 7:37 at the moment. And we're right now about 20 laps to go.
Yeah, sorry, I was just making a joke. You said 7:37. It's an airplane.
Okay then. But I will say, as these drivers fly around this track, sub 20-second lap time. So we're at a paper clip in terms of the pace. This is a track that, when you think about it, there's races that are quicker at the paper clip now than what we see in Northbrooks. But the All-Star race at 200 or so, 250 laps.
Whoa, leader to the wall. Leader hit the outside wall. Devin Medeiros was there on the outside, and the 99 came up and put him in the wall. Holy cow, the 8's right on the back bumper of the leader now.
Don't think he was clear there. And is there going to be damage for Galata? He's got scrapes. But here comes the 8. He's got the run. He's 2/10 quicker last time by with the contact. The average better than a 10th. Here comes the 8 on the outside looking for the setup.
Man, that was such a big mistake on the 99's part. You know, these lap traffic, they're always going to be in your way. You got to be extra cautious around them. Cannot afford any damage to these cars. He's able to hold off the 8 for now, but I just worry what happened to that 899's underbelly right here. Might not be feeling too hot. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, going to be interesting if there's any chassis damage from that contact. Giglio will try and find a way to get him loose here, maybe. Not able to get the run yet. Still has 16 laps to find a way to take the lead. And there goes the 99 well up the track. Opens the door for the 8.
Oh, the door bang right there.
A little bit of contact, and Giglio's to the race lead. And all of a sudden, he's at the point with the push now from the 99. Hold on, Galata's trying an attack back. No. So, the purple stripe is up at the front of the field. Galata to second, Conklin running third. By the way, that third place might change right now because Miller's there.
Looks like here in the full-length Cup Challenge, I got to tell you, Blake Giglio has only started in 7 of these things. And honestly, his average finish is 26. He has yet to have a great day in terms of a finish. I mean, he's fast, and we've seen him go fast, but whether or not he's able to keep it up over the course of the long run, we don't know. Side by side on your screen, Robert Miller, Conklin. Miller's able to get by that 17. And now, I mean, I think that what we're seeing is drivers like Basin, who's fallen back to 8th, and Conklin, who have been really dominant all season long. Their cars might be set up for a later time period. We only got time to tell. And Benefield, remember, who has been doing a fantastic job of wrapping the bottom, he's already back up to the top 5. He's closing in on Conklin.
It's definitely looking like that's going to be good for the 83. Still have 11 laps, though, to the end of the stage this time by. And funnily enough, only a couple cars total falling a lap down, because the difference between the leader and everybody else is only 4/10 at the back end of this run right now. That says a lot with the Goodyear Eagles. It gets harder and harder to actually lap the field the further you go. Conklin being passed now possibly in the next few moments by Benefiel. But the point being is, it's not like with previous cars where you could see a massive chunk of fall-off difference in the Open Series.
You're absolutely right. You know, that fall-off is, and the biggest problem with the fall-off that we got as they're side-by-side here, we're going to watch this battle, is that once you got the lead and you catch lap traffic, they're only like 2-3 tenths slower than you. Sometimes it's hard to pass in these cars. It's a nightmare to pass. The aero makes it so difficult when they're evenly matched. So, I mean, it's possible to get around lap cars faster, but it definitely is not easier than lap cars that are like half a second, 7 tenths slower. It just depends. But again, the cars running so similar speed just really make it difficult for the leader as Benefiel takes over fourth place, who is, I think Giglio and Benefiel are on very similar speeds right now, and I think those two will be the ones to watch as we go further.
Benefiel running 19.5, same like Giglio. Everyone else, in most cases, not in the same ballpark, but there is a couple that is matched. Conklin is in. Conklin just went down pit road. Black flag 2.
Well, that's very unusual for the 17. That's a big problem there.
I don't think that was scheduled. I think he lost it down the straightaway.
But no kidding.
And Conklin's not going to be happy there. Had a good position for points here, and that car just got loose.
I mean, that is weird. Nice catch. But yeah, I mean, that is a very unfortunate thing. Yeah, you have to kind of stop. I hope he's able to get back out there and keep racing, but he's still sitting in his pit stall, I think.
40 seconds stop and hold.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute. There he goes. He's rolling now.
Apparently it was 21, but either way, it's still a stop and hold. That puts him a few laps down.
Oh, man. And he's right now side by side with his teammate right now. My goodness.
Pit road's closed. 2 to go. 2 laps to go in stage 1. We'll have to talk about when we get to the pit stop window coming up here, but Giglio up in front. Right now, Benefiel looking to take away second. Take third, rather, on the track. With the white flag out at stage 1, the 83 looking to get around the 15 for one of the closer battles on the track. Giglio driving his way through turn 4 right now. Coming away with the stage here over Galata, but it's Benefiel who does take third. The 8 celebrating a green-white checker flag this time by. Robert Miller fell to fourth. Delaney Lim, who is making his way forward. Lim inside the top 6. Basin, Duggar, Graves, and Sean O'Brien Jr. with a new paint scheme this week. He's inside the top 10 at the top of the stage caution. Interesting stage 1, and it's important to mention before we get the pit stops, they adjusted how the pit stop speed in the box, remember, works in the past week or so, Kirk.
Let's take a look at it.
Here's the thing. There's a good point mentioned about this because they increased the speed of the service, in particular for the tires, to 10 seconds. Fuel is going to be an interesting one for the distance. What I'm trying to say is pit stops are now, like in 2026, the real-life cars these days.
Oh, so to put it bluntly, you're saying like these cars have to stay longer even after the tires are on the dang car to fill it up?
There's a potential possibility, but every stop seen with this car so far, everyone's had 10-second stops so far. That being said, it's going to be like real life where it's an absolute sprint with the one lug nut.
Oh boy, I'm excited to watch this actually. And you know, the real benefit here Well, I'm going to take that right back. Conklin ends up going down pit road. He's on pit road right now, that 17. So he did not take advantage of a wave around.
You had to take the tires, has to get the fuel. And watch. Jack on the tires, off and away. Some issues for the 6. Delaney missing his stall. Off and away is Giglio with the quick service of 10 seconds. But the 6 will lose a lot of spots here with issues on the pit box. Noah Hodgson having a lot of discussions there over the radio. 6 is off and away. Down to the order in Giglio, Galata, Miller, Benefield, Basin, top 5.
The end of pit road is such a dangerous spot. We kind of saw 2 cars get inside each other there for a second with the 67 of June Salim and the 17 of Conklin.
Yoel Hastings, who just got lapped by the Latin pace car. I think there's another part of this with this track here tonight we have to think about. Remember at Martinsville, you have the risk of getting lapped if you pit at the back of the field. I think we have it at North Wilkesboro too.
Whoa, hold on, really?
Bobby Anderson was amongst those that was side by side coming off the pit lane and is at least pinned behind the pace car, but beat the leader.
Well, I think I know Jose Medina did not pit. He's taking the wave around here, trying to stay on the lead lap. That was his goal from the beginning. I talked to him a little bit. Jose doing just fine.
And oh, wow. Bobby Anderson's not getting the wave around. You know why? Because he probably exited a closed pit technically. And race control's delaying the restart to figure out what's going on with the lineup. Robert Miller's also going to the back. Believe he had a penalty with the pit road speed possibly. So a few different drivers having issues here, and a lot of cars trying to sort themselves out.
Yeah, this could all be fixed by a slower pace speed. I mean, like, if you had a slower pace speed, then it makes it so, yes, the precautions are longer, but you don't have cars getting lapped for no reason. Like, that shouldn't happen. The pace speed should be a little slower to make that work. Because, I mean, in real life, that they can adjust that, but not here in the sim. You got to make some accommodations for that.
It's already at 45. That's one of the lowest pace speeds.
Put it down to 40. I mean, hell. I mean, just to make sure we get the back of the field able to pit.
Green, we're backing away. Giglio and Galata were side by side to start. The 8's already clear, but the 99's trying the high side of attack. This could get interesting here for a couple drivers, including Alan Duggar, the Ryko car, who kept himself in a Toyota. He's the only of the Ryko machines to stay in a Toyota. He's alongside for the top 5 for the first time in a few months.
Yeah, absolutely having a good run here today. That 10 car is somebody that is, constantly in the top 10, but I would not say in the top 5 very often. He's fighting for that spot right now, currently sitting P6, trying to use the outside line. Not enough. He'll have to stay in 6th, but having a good day so far. Hopefully it continues for that 10 team.
Tonight feels like a top 10 night, potentially even for Graves too, because both of them look good at stage 1, but we are getting tested because 265 is the lap mark. You're talking about a stage near 200 laps on distance. Side by side for the race lead.
Giglio's trying to work the bottom, but you can see that 99 of Galata trying to work the top. He's going to get a good run here, but stay single file as it is for most of the top 5 all the way back until you get to Sean O'Brien, currently running P9 outside the top 10.
Passing their way past that Benny Parsons grandstand. Galata searching and prodding and poking and trying to find any way to get back in front of the Price Chopper machine. It's been a while since Price Chopper's been in Canada, let's put it that way. How's that relevant? Well, it's going to get chopped around, nearly spun. The 8 got loose and bounced off the 99. There goes the Bigfoot machine to the race lead.
99's really quick off the jump. That's what we've seen since the beginning of this race. Let's take a look and see what happened to 8 to get them all screwed up here.
Right there with the bumps.
Oh, boy.
Here we got his car chopped away and sent into the Price Slicer.
The what?
Never mind. Here comes the run for Basin.
Oh, good Lord. I'm going to need me a drink after that. That was good. All right, but yeah, you're right. Basin, remember, he was off the gas. Oh, wrecking on the back straightaway. Somebody slow. It's the 0-1 of Casey Graves.
He was up in the top 10. We have no caution flag. We stay green. He was trying to change lanes, and Trill also spun with them nearly.
Let's take a look and see how it happened here. 0-1. Does he get loose? Yeah, yep. He sure does. Get loose, and luckily didn't hit anything, but he loses almost all of his track position.
0-1 holds on to it, but drops to the back for his effort. Just like that. Battle still on for second. Basin, remember, trying to find a way to keep the long run here.
You know, now that Benefields has a little bit better track position, I'd like to see how close he can get to Gulotto over the long run. But, okay, now we're learning something here today. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. But I could say here, I'm looking at our top 10, and there's one name that I would not expect to see at the tail of the top 10. Nicholas Vroman in the last couple of weeks. I mean, I have been expecting a lot of this guy. He's really competitive, really hard to beat, and he's up front most of the time. But he's sitting 10th right now, which is still a good day for most folks, but I think a little subpar for him because, I mean, I have such high, regard for this gentleman. You know, we normally see him in the top 5. He's not there today. And he's right here with Delaney, who I also expect to see up in the front. But maybe it's because it's so early in the race. Maybe it's they set up their stuff later in the night. We see that with the 6. That happens time after time. We'll see the 6 in the back 10s for the early parts of the race. But once stage 2 starts, the 6 goes to the front, and so does Roman. So keep an eye on these two tonight to see if it's something that's going to be developing over the course of a long run, or if it's something that's just maybe it's not fitting tonight. But you can see the 71 of Truel as well. He was struggling with the whole, gearing prior to this race. I talked to him, and he finally got it figured out, it looks like.
Here's a look what happened to Hall. Whoa, that's a bit of a check for everyone else behind. And able to just hold on to that. Could have been very bad there. Dustin Hall able to hold on to the one machine as he tries to maintain that bump again. Nearly bit an error car.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, bobble, bobble. And that wiggle has put him down to 16th. Take a look at,
man.
You're saying?
Yeah, that 6 car and that 71. 6 car really wants to start moving forward, and that 71. Oh, he tore him. He put him in the door. That's awesome. Slide job 3 wide. Hang on to it, boys. 71 might not be happy about that. I think that 6 car has made his message clear. Hey, I need to get by you. I'm sick of riding behind you. Move. And he sure did move him. Hit him in the door. Turn 1 and 2. That was aggressive.
I think he just carried too much speed in it.
Oh, it was good. Oh, somebody wrecked on the backstretch.
Somebody brought smoke up, but no caution as Drill trying to make sure he doesn't get bullied out of the way here. Here comes Vroom Vroom. Sean Conklin, multiple laps down here, is trying to unlap himself the hard way. Now, let's take a look at William Owens, who brought the smoke here.
Yeah, there's a smoking section, and I don't think it's on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the parking lot. Oh, he actually got hit by Hastings on the way to the spin.
Good recovery, not hitting anything, though.
Did I mention this is the second night in a row Conklin's ran a league race, and he's had to come back from a lap down?
Oh, you haven't mentioned that yet. Really?
He ran last night in the Mystic Racing League, a rare fixed race start. After the second stage, he had lapped all but 3 other cars. And then, before the stage caution came out, crashed with the 4th driver on the lead lap. Proceeded to go a lap down to repairs, finished second after driving from a lap behind to get within 6 seconds of the race win. Conklin's trying to do that even harder here tonight with the FLCC.
Yeah, he's 2 laps down right now. He's got to get one of his laps back one way or another. And I think he could do it on the racetrack, getting one of them back if he can catch up to Galata. It's about making sure the car can get there. But once he gets one of them back, I mean, that's going to be the hard part right now because he's not eligible for a lucky dog. He's not eligible for that. There's no way he's going to be able to get it with 2 laps down unless everybody else in front of him is also 2 laps down. And he's able to pass him. And right now he's got about, from what I can see, 5 cars 1 lap down, and he doesn't have a chance to get there. Not just Conklin, though. Also, Nolan Hodgson in the 12 also having issues 2 laps down right now.
He had a minute and 28 seconds of damage repair and had a lot of shatter over the radio. I believe it was with Benefield we were talking about. So a few drivers at least knowing they've got to keep on the lead lap here because of how difficult it's going to get to be on the lead lap tonight. Basin, right now still maintaining 3rd, by the way. We're already about 30 laps into this run. But Benefield is in a much better spot than stage 1 to begin. He is picking up steam.
The 40 car, Jose Medina's in the wall on the exit of turn number 4. He got up and out of the groove. He's trying to let these guys by. He's a little slower than everybody else here. He's just trying to let the fast guys go. But look how close everybody's getting up to the outside wall now in turn 1. You can see the 71 get really close to it every single time. And now he's going to be topside 3 wide, turns 3 and 4. And look at the 48. He started dead last today. He's almost cracking the top 10.
Yeah, not bad at all on the charge. Up 19 for the 95 in the SEG, but you mentioned Tower Hunter. He's up 20.
Exactly.
Now, just has to find a way to get the run around everyone here because it's becoming a traffic jam with each other once again. All while Sean O'Brien Jr.'s new paint scheme, representing Ozempic, is trying to close up.
Oh my God. Have you seen his rear bumper yet?
Yes, I have.
Can we zoom in on that? I mean, the world got to know this message. My goodness, what an advertisement. That just makes me sad. Is it 65? 65. This is the car we need to look at. Take a look at the rear bumper. If we have the chance to zoom in on that.
I mean, I guess he said, I don't know what to tell you other than it's on the text, and that's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, man, I love his sense of humor. Oh, but right now, Broman and the 15 of Miller side by side. Miller was up in the top 5 for most of the run. He's falling outside of the top 10. Something's going on with the 15.
Yeah, Miller, yet again, having an interesting run. Cat speed in stage 1. Stage 2 hasn't been the same. He's not in the same bracket by 3/10. Medina, all of a sudden, who took the wave, is coming in. Medina made it 117, including pace laps. So remember that number, about 110, 120, thinking about potentially of the fuel, if that's a good barometer. We'll have to see. Of course, we know it's a one-stop for the stage regardless, but that's something to keep an eye on for later as Benefield is on the door of Basin.
Trying to go to the inside. He's able to make that pass pretty simply right there. Basin, I think, just let him go. I really think Basin's doing that on purpose, trying to save his stuff. Or, I don't know, really. I mean, it's odd because it's not normal to see Basin just do that very often. So, he's doing fine, though. He's maintaining his speed when he does get past. And it's just, I think I'd be interested to see how he does in the long run when it gets nighttime. I think that will tell us kind of what he has planned here this afternoon. Everybody else, you can see how close quarters everybody is. This back here is like right on the tail of the top 10. That pink car, Roman, he's sitting 10th. Everybody behind trying to get what they can get. And up in front of that 95, you got a little bit of a gap. That normally means that car right there might have been trapped behind somebody for a while.
Possibly here. Brian Wortman, by the way, made it down pit road. So the 74 for a second time has hit pit under green.
Oh, wow.
Only made it 37 laps on that stint. It's been a rougher one for them. Jonathan Delaney, alongside Hutchinson. This is for 6th. Able to recover most of the spots, if not all, from the pit road issue. Actually opened the door for Conklin, who continues to pass by several of the leaders over this run.
Yeah, but he's kind of got stalled out here behind the 6 car, Delaney. He's tried to make a couple moves on the 6 different ways and just hasn't worked yet. He got by the 19, and so did the 6, but I think the 6 car is pretty dang quick, and the 6 is not going to make it easy for the 17, knowing that if the 17 gets his lap back, it might be difficult to win this race if he's back on the lead lap at any point. It is so hard to get your lap back, but 2 of them, let alone, is so much more difficult. And it's just how it is. I'm wishing him the best of luck in doing it. And can you imagine the craziness, that storyline that'd be if that 17 somehow came back from that? As back again for the top 10, still side by side between Tyler Hunter in 11th and also the 65 of the Ozempic car there.
Ryan Jr. able to clarify. So the orange and black machine with the white able to get back up into the 11th position again. This lengthy run continuing on already. Sprinting forward here. For those curious, the lead, Galata's maintained it. Here comes Lim, though. He's caught up. That 67 is moving forward here. Try and join up to the battles going on. But that race lead is an error conversation point. Our producer just mentioned a big point. It was up to 2 seconds. It's under a second, give or take. Giglio is back to being fast. I think the long run's there.
Yeah, that A car showing long run speed. We saw that in the last stage. This time around, though, I mean, Galata again showed short run speed. He got passed later in the run by Giglio. So I think that we might see a repeat of that the longer this goes if we stay green. But I'm also looking at this racetrack from one vantage point, saying that there's not a gap on this racetrack that is very large at all. There's cars all over the place.
Yeah, there's a lot of red boxes if you have your right proper timing and scoring for battle boxes. You have battle boxes for the lead. You have battle boxes for 4th and 5th. You have battle boxes for 7th through 9th, 10th through 18th, 20th through 22nd, 23rd and 24th. All are within a second of each other at the very least of a car being close to another car. There's not a lot of full separation on this racetrack. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I got a picture here I'm going to send to the little group here. I mean, you can see. You can look all over the racetrack, and the biggest ones I could see is maybe 10 car lengths, maybe 15 at the max. And there's still enough room for the guys to maneuver, but what we saw in the first stage was everybody was kind of cramped up together. It felt like everybody was able to run real close. But over the course of this very long run, we're starting to see a big stretch. And the only thing I could say is the 6 and the 17 are just so entertaining to watch right now. Take a look at that 6 car Delaney, if we can, just for a quick moment, and the 17 of Conklin. I could say that 17 has tried everything except the bumper to move that 6, and he just hasn't been able to get it done, but now it looks like there might be a shot.
Might try and find a way to get around here and see how far the 17 can get after this. And obviously, if you're a lead lapper, you're thinking, why am I getting raced by a car 2 laps down, no matter the situation, 26th? I know there's the phrase, test your speed. I know there's the phrase, because he's trying to get himself the laps back the hard way. There's a lot of conversation on the give and take you expect, lapper versus leader.
The biggest thing that we could tell whether or not that's even possible is by looking at the lap times. Leaders are running 19.4s right now. But if we go back and try and look and see the speed of what Conklin's running, he's running 19.3s. He is running faster than the leader right now. So if he continues that, there's a good chance he can earn it back the hard way.
Yeah, this could get interesting depending on how the run goes. All this is to say, Galata's now Galata still has 5 seconds distance on him. You've seen there. So we'll see. The 8 is the bigger barometer, if anything, because they're running a little bit quicker. Right now, Conklin is running a 10th quicker to that second place car as well, but there's also Medina around. So there's a lot of comparisons you can make there. Well, your points leader, but we still have so long to think about this in terms of the long run. You're talking about a race that is going to be a marathon in real life this year.
And it's going to be a test in real life. It's going to be a test of their equipment. And that's something I'm excited for. We don't get a chance to actually test the dang equipment that often anymore because it's so abusive on these cars to be ran on a short track for this long at this high rate of speed in the corners. I mean, whenever you're in the corners in Martinsville, you get as low as 50, maybe 60 miles an hour, even 40 in some cases, depending on the car you're running. But here in the corners, the slowest I've seen cars hit is 80, 90. I mean, so it is going to be difficult for the real life guys, but in this sim, it's about the endurance. You're right. I mean, staying in it, knowing that you might not have the fastest car out there. Drivers like Casey Graves, Dustin Hall, Tanner Marty, these guys are 14 seconds behind the leader. They don't got anywhere they can go. They just got to make sure they keep a level head, and if the leader catches them, run your line. Hope for the best. And that's the best thing you can do. It's a test of endurance because all it takes is one little mistake. We saw that at Martinsville earlier this year. Conklin dominated the race, but there was contact. Conklin got taken out, and his race was done, and now more people were able to gain spots. The point I'm trying to make is that your race, when it's this long, is not about who's the fastest. It's not about who has the best setup. It's about the driver who's able to keep the momentum, keep the endurance up, and have luck on their side, unlike that car who just got sideways on the back straightaway. One car sideways. It looks like that is the 59, I believe. 59 on pit road. He just went on pit road. Kyle Ammon.
I think he got loose. Galata really struggling in the traffic now. Here comes the run for the 8. Giglio trying to pass by on the outside. He hits the wall, gets slowed up a little bit, and will now try and work his way around on the inside and the outside.
Oh, lap traffic's going to be a big deal. Look at Hastings right there in the 81. He's going to be in the way. And it's not his fault. He's just running his line. They're side by side still for the lead. 3 wide.
Trying to find a way around the lap traffic here. Right now, Hastings staying up high. Giglio zips by Galata. Zips by as well, but it's the 8. Yet again leading with more than 300 to go in the race. And still a long way to go here in stage number 2. Let's take a look.
Go back and take a look at what happened to Kyle Ammon on the back straightaway. You're going to see this car jump sideways and then go straight down pit road. This is what we saw late on the straightaway, though. I will give him that. Didn't seem like it happened very early. Right there. Snapped loose. Did he hit anything? Yeah, he sure did. Left front damage, big time.
There one bites the dust into the inside wall down the backstretch, or down pit road at least. All that's to say, race lead fading away for the 99 around a similar point, if not a little bit longer of a point, compared to earlier. And here's the thing, Benefiel might actually get the second pretty soon too at the current rate. It's going to take about 10-20 laps, but Galata is seeing the long run fade again.
I'm also seeing the thing that I think the field should be afraid of, which is Giglio's got the long run speed, but Galata's got the short run speed. And whenever it comes to the end of this race, it's all going to come down to when the final caution will come out. I think that 99 is praying and hoping that we get a caution within the last 20 laps of this race if he's up front. But if you're Giglio, you're hoping you get the entire third stage green to the finish. That car's fast. He's got the ability to do the long run better than anybody so far, but he's got to navigate this lap traffic. Look, he has nowhere he can go. He's stuck behind Corey Moore right now and the 30 of William Owens, and the 12 car Nolan Hodgson going 3 laps down now for that 12 car, rather. It's unfortunate for them, but they're running their own race. They can't just get up out of the way. They're trying to race each other.
Yeah, they got to all sort themselves out pretty quickly here. See how much that 8 is just trying to make sure to stay out of trouble. Bit more lap traffic than there was previously, to say the very least. Corey Moore for the first time following the lap down. Oh, that was a deep send to the bottom. That was almost to the bottom of the racetrack if that was the 1987 layout.
Ooh, man, that was tight. I mean, it's inches from hitting that left rear quarter panel and sending that 8 car around, but I think that 99 knew that once he got by that 42, it might have been very difficult to catch him back. 99 is quick, but I don't think as fast as Giglio in the long run.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one for this, is how well they're able to get going at this point to survive the traffic. Next up will be Thomas Komacheski, Casey Graves in front of that, Dustin Hall, and then it's a flurry of race cars including Nicholas Vroman, if they even get to that point.
Oh, well, Benefield, 3 wide right now between 2 lap cars. He's in the middle back here, the 83 car. He almost got wrecked there. And the thing is, 40 car has way fresher tires than anyone around him, so he's just running his own race. I can't fault him for that, but 83's putting his nose in places, trying to catch as much as he can. He wants to get up to second place so bad.
Yeah, he wants to get there before they get too far out. He needs to close up near 2 seconds to get there. Easier said than done here for the Conti machine. And Benefield, mind you, top 10 in the point standings coming into tonight. He's got to win on the season. It almost feels like this is a night where there might be a chance for that again to build up. Meanwhile, Tanner Marti, he had an EOL 1 point during one of the cautions earlier. He's got Hunter Truel alongside. This is for 14th.
Yeah, the leader's just very short distance behind this. These guys are racing for their lead lap lives right now. They got to get going because the leader is like right there at the very top of the screen. The 8-car Giglio is just right in view. They can see him in the mirror. That if that 8-car gets there, they get put a lap down, and it is so hard to get your lap back. We've seen that all day long, and he's about to get there. That 8-car's fast enough. He can pass all these guys all the way up to Roman.
Yeah, Lucas Hoitzma is just in front of this, having a technical issue with Tanner Marti for a moment, but another point here, in the pit lane already? 78 laps in. He's going to have to make it about 100 laps on the next set of tires here. That might be an undercut play, potentially, to see if the time stands up, because that actually might be an interesting one for later, since right now the drivers have stayed at about 1.2 seconds for a while now of fall off.
And Basin coming down pit road, 10.2 seconds. He didn't top it off all the way. Won't necessarily need to do that either. This is, you can see Tanner Marti, man, fast. Happy to see that for that 29 car. He got by Vroman on his own. That 29 car has speed in that car that I've never seen. Heck yeah, that's awesome for him. But back here again, Galata's still not going away. Remember, he's still on the back bumper of Giglio. But take a look who's entered the picture. Remember a certain someone trying to get their laps back the hard way? He's right there.
That's actually Basin.
Basin. Disregard me. I'm sorry. Thought it was the other car. They look so similar. Good Lord.
I mean, that's another one that's trying to make up time. 2 laps down. And Basin, oh my goodness, that is like nothing. That's like slicing through butter.
Yeah. So now we know that the new tires mean everything. That car, now the thing is, he's hoping for no cautions. If you get a caution, your race is done. You are really in a bad spot. That's the thing. So it's a giant risk. If you stay green the entire run, it might work in your favor. If we see anything at all come out, it ruins your day. So it is a giant risk he's pulling right now.
By the way, Conklin and Medina traded paint last time by in the front straightaway. Already, Lemon's not been happy on the radio with the 17, and then the 17 tried to clear the 40, nearly got turned, pushed Medina into the wall with the contact. We have a flurry of pit stops. There's the 17, just passed by Dustin Hall and Casey Graves, who have gone down the pits. Let's see what happened to Conklin. Watch this.
Not clear. He puts him in the wall. That's an interesting move. But 40 car doesn't give up. He still fights. You know, got a little fight in him. I like that, Jose. Good man. Way to keep the car underneath you. But hate to see that from the 17.
Did I mention that was a Ryko customer?
Oh, I had no idea.
So that's going to be an interesting conversation with Ken later. That being, it's not intentional, but still. Galata spooking the car of Lucas Hoitzma, who is a lap down here. A shocker for the 97.
Yeah, I told you, this 8 car is so fast. Him and the Galata, both of those cars are going to be able to lap, I think, all the way up to maybe 8th before the end of this stage. They might even make it all the way up to 7th if this pace continues.
Black Flag Hall. Here's his pit exit. Got to be careful on the speed. Remember, 35 is the speed limit. It's going to happen later in the exit. Is right here. Did get below the blue. Even with the nose, it was. Regardless. It's to the point where Vroom Vroom is being lapped. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
This is wild to see some of the big names that are getting lapped here. Hutchinson pit, by the way, along with Hunter Truex this time through. We have a lot of people splitting this stage up equally, leaving themselves a few more laps here up on the board. Basin, for reference, is still 32 seconds back your leader. The next to a pit, 8 seconds back, Robert Miller.
Man, I think the rest of the guys that are lapped down, they kind of know. There's some folks that came down pit road and pitted already. So, I mean, Giglio and Galata, they're losing a lot of time to those cars that came down pit road. That's the truth. Look at the 15. He came down pit road. He just blew by that 99. He went straight on through, no problems. And that's something that you're going to see. And he just went right around the outside of the leader like it was nothing, like he was standing still. The amount of time that Giglio and Galata are losing a lap might be significant. We don't know unless a caution comes out. Or they come down pit road themselves, and then we figure out how it stacks up. But these guys that are pitting are betting that it will stay green.
Yeah, like I said, this is a track where it trends green once you let it breathe. And guess what? Despite the field's efforts, we are still letting it breathe, despite the physicality of lappers versus leaders especially. Look at the drivers of fresh tires. This is the gamble, though. You're hoping all of these people who pit do not crash. Ralph Hutchinson is amongst those, for example, who has pit and is a lap difference to Dylan Basin. We've seen, for example, that last angle.
My goodness, looking at these lap times, though, I can just tell you, leaders running 17.7, 17.5s in that range. And the guys that had just came down pit road, they're running 18.7s. So, I mean, that's a whole second a lap. And the lap times are less than 20 seconds. It takes 20 laps to make that up. I think that there's going to be a good shot for these guys. But, again, I am really surprised with Tanner Marty and Tyler Hunter today. Both cars, 8th and 9th right now. I want to give them a little bit of a shout-out because, you know, they are having great days. If they can finish this race on the lead lap, all power to them. Great job. But you can see the top 10, 10th on back, I rather say, are all one lap down. Tanner Marty and Tyler Hunter are the final two cars on the lead lap at the moment, which is odd that we're saying this, but if it stays green, that might not even be the case. It's just hard to call this race right now because so many cars are on so many different strategies. Bitterfield's coming down.
Coming up from the top three, actually, for that pit stop. He's able to make it down the pit road. Only a couple drivers had penalties here tonight for speeding, it seems, tonight. Most of the field surprisingly doing pretty well on how they've attacked this pit lane. A lot of are still keeping an eye on screen, actually lapping the 44. That is the 10th place car at the moment. But here come the freshies again. Got to keep your head on a swivel at this point. Be aware of your surroundings. If you have a live spotter, that's going to be very valuable. There are only a couple of them in the field here tonight. Jonathan Delaney has Logan Sheets again. Giglio has Daniel Wallen, who's on the box. Hutchinson has Brandon Pierce and Jacob Simpson. Corey Moore has Zendela Collins.
You know, I mean, I'm starting to think that this is a driver's track, but there's this big gaggle of cars I'm really worried about. Nolan Hodgson in the 12 cars right in the middle of it. But there's several gaggles of cars. You're seeing it, this 97 of Hoytsma. This is the one that's on the back, turns 3 and 4. And then there's another one that looks just like this, entering right now, exiting turn 4 with the 6, the 17 even. Casey Graves in the 01. There's just a lot of these little groups that are so close to each other. Driving on razor's edge, it gives me a little bit of concern.
Yeah, Tyler Hunter is already down pit road and taking service at the moment, but you're right. Some of these drivers gonna have to be extremely...
Oh, front stretch, the 15 cars in the wall, turn sideways, caution is out. The 40 car of Medina's involved as well. 15 of Robert Miller and Jose Medina, both cars around. And I think the 15 thought he was clear, similar to what we saw the 17 have happen with this 40 car. But I don't think he was clear. 40 car maintained his line, and 15 was not clear.
think there was some air in between the two of them as well that factored in. Regardless, though, it was tight. And that is the caution some people were concerned to get. This is why, in a lot of cases, people go long at this type of a track you were talking about, Kirk. There's only 7 who are on the lead lap.
And when it comes to cars that are just one lap down, there's 15. So P8 to P15 are just one lap down. They are all going to take the wave around here. Tanner Marty, Sean O'Brien Jr., Alan Duggar, Jonathan Delaney, June Salim, Joseph Galata, and Blake Giglio are all the biggest beneficiaries of this because they're all in the lead lap. They'll be in the top 8 on the restart, no matter what happens. As long as they don't wreck each other on pit road, they're going to have themselves a great day.
So service is underway. Cliff Mullins, interesting enough, not one of those to come down in the first wave. Dylan Basin would be, and believe is, the Lucky Dog car, if not one of the waves. There's a lot of moving parts here. Tire changes, being lightning quick with the tires, 10 seconds. As said, there's no contact for the leaders, but it was the 8 beating the 99. It was very close to a blue cone commitment violation with the contact. They avoided it, looks like. And Cliff Mullins did come down the second wave as expected here. So this is going to get very complicated. There's a lot of things to mention here. First things first, you mentioned the one lap down cars. There's a fair amount of drivers taking a wave to get a lap back. There's still only going to be about 10 on the lead lap of the wave arounds is the estimate here. Give or take. It's still going to be moving around a bit. But there's a lot of others. Sean Conklin. Surprised he didn't go long, Kirk. If he went long, he might have been in a different spot. He is still 2 down with a wave around.
Oh, man, he's going to need a lot of help to make this work. Here comes a wave round cars going around the pace car now. I see Miller, Hutchinson, Hunter, the 06 of Basin, 30 of William Owens, 88 of Komacheski, 20 of Medeiros. Conklin's taking one of those laps back. He's going to get probably his second lap back, maybe 1 lap down for him. But all these cars are trying to catch up to the back of the pace car again. Man, that sun is blinding.
So, right now, here is the reset. We have 10 currently scored on the lead lap. Lucas Hoitzma on back did not get wave arounds. Blake Giglio, Joseph Galata, Yosan Lim, Alan Duggar, Jonathan Delaney, Sean O'Brien Jr., Tanner Marty, Cliff Mullins, Dylan Basin, Adam Benefiel are the only drivers on the lead lap. Your entire top 10 who are fighting for stage points, if it stays green, getting set here in this one for the stage.
Oh, boy, I'm getting a little on edge of my seat, man. I mean, I feel bad for those cars that are in a rough position like Basin and Benefield there. 30 laps on their tires and 10. But here we go, going back underway. Green flag, back out.
So trying to find a way to work around the 67. Up in the top 3. There goes Lim, able to clear on by. A lot of the lap cars going to be fighting hard for the Lucky Dog positions.
This is the first time I've seen June Salim up there in the top 3 all day long. We're having a great run for him, but you're right, the car's running on 1 lap down. They're going to be battling, but for the lead, we got a pretty good one too. That 99, like we said, has the short run speed. He is the fastest short run car that we have seen today so far. What adjustments has that 8 car made to make the short run work better for him? Or has he just not changed much and kept the long run speed? 99 still looking to the inside for the lead right now. Right on the back bumper, giving him a shot down the back straightaway.
Remember, Galata's been better in the first 40 or so laps on the run so far tonight. He's trying to do that again, but the 8 trying to make sure to keep the clean air here. Force Galata to use up the tires here to get the job done first.
Oh, you don't get battles for the lead like this very often. I love it when we get a car that's faster on a short run in the back, having to make a pass on the long run speed car right there. It makes it difficult. It's fun to watch because it just takes one little move like that. 99 going to the bottom, but that 8 car is going to get such a big run on the exit. it might be difficult for the 99 to clear. He's side by side on the quarter panel. I think it's here that he's going to get clear. 8 car is going to have to fall in line.
Yes, he will. Clearing on by. There goes the 99. Back up to the race lead. They pull off and away. Well, he's trying to, at the very least here. So all this is to say, for those curious, who is your lucky dog car? Might be your next question as you see some of the battles here. That's Lucas Hoitzma, who is it right now. The 97 ahead of the 95 is your battle for 11th. There are amongst those hoping to do the caution dance, but Lucas Hoitzma has been warned for technical issues. It's worth noting in the 97. Delaney on screen looking for third.
Oh my goodness gracious. Things are just going to constantly be changing for the rest of the run. But remember what I said about the 6 car earlier. He's on the top side trying to make the line work. But that 6 car shows up when it gets dark. And I can tell you right now, here in just a few moments, we're going to see a graphical glitch that happens on iRacing that will change when the lights come on. And when that happens, I already see the lights coming on, but the graphical glitch has yet to kick in yet. There it is, right there. It just happened, right when I was talking about it. So I told you, it was coming. And when it happens, it's obvious. And now this is when the 6 car comes alive, and he's going for P2 right now.
Trying to find a way to get around to second. Yes, indeed. Delaney now up to second, and here comes the 67 also looking to do the 6-7 dance and find a way to move the car up to third. There it goes.
I've been waiting for this day. I have been trying to get that graphical glitch to happen right at the same time as talking about it for the last 6 months. Finally happened. That's it. I'm very happy about that. Oh, man. Anyway, that 6 car, I don't know if he has the speed to catch a lot of them. We saw in the long run that 6 car was quick. He was able to maintain, but I don't think he has the speed to get past him. The 8 car we've seen has that speed after about 40 laps. Now remember, stage being a 265, we got only 60 laps before we get to the end of this little stage. So whether or not he has enough time, I cannot tell you one way or another.
Yeah, there's so much in terms of the moving parts right now with the way this is going here. As they all work their way into the sunset situation, mind you, hearing one of the wall, front straightaway, it's Mullins. No caution, he nearly's up the track.
Oh, good God.
No meatball flag, but the wheel is demolished.
Oh, what happened? Oh, big time hitting the inside wall. And the thing is, I thought he was going to go right back up the racetrack. Oh, inches from hitting the 71.
And he has not hit the car. He's turning the car hard left and will make the left turn down pit road now after trying to lap. Delaney, meanwhile, needs to catch 1.3 seconds to get to the leader.
Roman's taking over that lucky dog position while we've been talking about it. It looks like so that's something to keep in mind. Roman running P10 right now in the lucky dog spot.
And the big thing's going to be hoping that none of the lead lappers that found some luck with strategy end up in the situation where they get lapped. Because the big thing is, Dylan Basin is on 48 lap hole tires here, for example. Fell behind Adam Benefield this past lap. That's a real concern for the 06, you'd have to think. Half a lap behind already. Benefield is on tires that are not as old, but is not as good on this run.
They're taking a risk, and it's the right risk. I thought this was the right decision because any wreck could happen, and these guys were saved. That's the truth. Wreck happens, these guys are back on. These guys are good to go. And based on what we've seen with the tire fall off, I mean, caution coming out with 30 lap old tires might warrant a pit stop. So it might not be fun to do that. Some might not choose to do that, but if you want to go faster, I mean, pit road would have to be an option. And because of that, there's a good chance you get wave arounds, but not everyone's going to take that opportunity. So I think the biggest winners here are the folks that stayed out and took that wave around while they had the chance. Benefield, Basin, doing what they had to do to try and make this work. And if they get a caution, it might work their way, or if they can hang on to the position before the end of the stage, also will work their way. But they cannot get lapped, absolutely, in whatever circumstance, cannot get lapped, or it all goes awry.
All going to get really wild, I think is the better way to put it here for the rest of this, because really for a lot of these drivers, it becomes a what are we going to do unless we get some luck here type of a strategy roll. But that's the risk you play in a short track in general, Kirk, is you never know when the caution flies. You never know who's going to get involved in an incident. And now we have this type of a race here in the FLCC. Feels like the old-fashioned type of short track racing. Very fitting for North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, it's a racer's track. I mean, this is not a carnage event like I anticipated it going to be. It's shown it to be a driver's track. You got to maintain a strategy that works. No fuel saving is going on. That's the difference here. I don't see fuel saving. I see cars trying to get all they can get every single lap. And that's what I love to see in racing. So good on these guys trying to actually, go out there and put on a good show and try and get the best finish for themselves and make it difficult for other cars to beat them. That's what matters, and Gilad is really doing a great job.
Yeah, Giglio all of a sudden, mind you, his situation, he's gotten faster the past couple laps, but has lost 2 seconds. I think that's a bit further than maybe they were expecting here in terms of where they would be at this point of the run. Because remember, Giglio matched up with the 99 in the first few runs. I almost wonder if the car is starting to lose the balance it had in the daytime. Now that with the nighttime conditions here, you're still at a track temp near 100 degrees, but the air temp is starting to dip.
That temperature, the only thing I know is that it's hot, it's loose. If it's cold, it's not. That's the way I always look at it. And it ain't too hot right now, I don't think. I think the cars are handling as good as they could possibly be for the track temp 98. That's fine. It's not crazy hot. It's not crazy cold either. It's racing weather, and I'm happy to see it. But whether or not Blake Giglio's car is set up for the night, I'm not seeing it right now. I mean, he's still got speed. I think the switch is starting to turn right now. I think he's maintaining his pace now, but over the course of the next 5 to 10, we might see him go faster. He might go under 2 seconds from the leader. Whether or not he can catch him in the time frame it takes to finish stage 2, I don't think he can do it. But I want him to prove me wrong. I want him to do it so bad. Go get him, Blake. That's what I want to see.
We'll have to find out how he's able to move his way back to the field. Mesnard, by the way, see him on the racetrack, peel down pit road for a drive-through, believe. Had something pop up there. Remember, incident limits we haven't touched upon as much here tonight. Just a DQ limit of 15. Not too many people, I think, are risking that because it's not been a demolition derby here this evening. But it still gives it to where you can't just drive through everybody like it's the Martinsville Speedway.
You're right. You can't drive through everybody like it's Martinsville. And even at Martinsville, I always try to say don't drive through everybody. It still happens. You got to get what you can get, and it's hard to pass there. But, at this track, I'm noticing the line change. What we saw early in the run in turns 3 and 4 is everybody running the bottom. And you still see that. I think the 3 and 4 is the most consistent turn in racing I've seen today. But turns 1 and 2, there are 3 lines you can run. You can do a hybrid where you run the bottom, top, bottom. You can run top or the bottom. That's it. 3 different lines you can really choose. Middle is not necessarily the best, but it's more of a hybrid anyway. I'm starting to notice one car just got under 2 seconds and he just gained 3/10. Giglio back on a charge. He's going to the inside right now of that 67 Junta limb. Yeah, okay, 8 car just hit the gas. He has flipped the switch. That 8 car is back on the marker.
There he goes. Might have saved a little bit. Make sure he has something for later. Now he's trying to recover the spots quickly. There's the 67 on the outside. There's the 6 also to the outside of the 8. William Owens going to get moved out of the way by Delaney. Delaney says, I've got a battle here.
Yeah, but Delaney knows right now that 8 car is probably a little faster, so he's trying to hold him up as long as humanly possible. But that 8 car, I don't think he's going to be able to hold him up for long. Right here, 8 car might slide up. No, yep, not quite clear, but he'll be clear in this corner. It's very hard to keep the position when the inside car is at ahead on entry to turn 3 here. And the 8 car slides up, and now all he's got to do is catch that 99. He's got 2 lap cars in front of him, and then he's to the back bumper to leader. So he's got to get by Dustin Hall here. He's got to get by the 98 of Williams. But once he's there, we might get a battle for this lead that might be fun to watch here for the last stage.
For the last little bit of this stage, too, absolutely. We still have, coming up right now, 35 laps to go-ish. A lot of drivers just trying to have fun on the radio. There was a scream on the radio for those curious because Sean O'Brien Jr. jokingly said on the radio, hey, I'm going to clean up the 95, and there was an immediate scream of no. That was sarcasm from Sean O'Brien Jr. By the way, the reason that's relevant is that's also a part of still your Lucky Dog battle because he is your Lucky Dog car.
And also, remember, O'Brien's sense of humor is pretty good. He's got the fat and ugly, just be ugly on the back bumper, too. So he's that guy. So if he can make that joke, he's good to go. That 6 car and a 6-7, though, looks like 6-7 of Lim's having a great day. I think a really, really good day. Very happy for him and his team getting into the top 3. I think he has a good shot for the win if something happens between Giglio and Gallardo, but I'm sorry to say, Giglio's already under a second. He's going to catch that leader in the next 4 to 5 laps. And maybe if he does get there, I don't know how hard Gallardo's going to try and defend. But if you take a look at Gallardo right now in that number 99 car, he's in a pretty comfortable position in terms of lap traffic. He has nobody other than just one car who's going to probably get up and out of the way. But that 8 car is cutting turns 3 and 4. He hit the apron on the entry to turn 3. The 8 car Giglio, he's doing all he can to try and catch him, even hit the apron in places. Right there, he went on the apron too.
Yeah, different lines, different ways to try and find speed popping up here. A little bit of adjustments coming into play. Giglio, as some would say, is becoming a rocket ship at this point of the run. There goes the 59 well up the racing surface. All of this as well, we keep an eye on Hunter. Hunter in all of this was up at the front earlier, has dropped into the battle for the Lucky Dog conversation here. Well, he's second in it. Lucas Hoitzma is right up the road, right here.
These guys got a long way to go to catch up to the back bumper, the guy who actually has that Lucky Dog, though. So I wouldn't be too remiss if they just raced each other to have a little bit of fun. I think at this point, there's not much they could really do in terms of chasing down Roman. They would need a very fast car, but Tyler Hunter gets by, moves up to 11th, and he's just got to chase him down now. But up front, that leader, he's within a car length of that 8 car now. That 8 car is getting there.
Going to have an opportunity here late in the stage. Remember the lap end, 265. One more time for those watching along. We have about 25 laps to go coming up in the stage. Just as the sun is just about completely gone. It's going to come full darkness in about 15-20 minutes. Right now you see the pace difference. Little few tenths to hundreds to thousands picked up here and there. Marching up there. Lost a lot of time in the first sector for whatever reason. But here's the second half of the lap. Will he gain? Nope. He got loose with the bump. Well, he still picked up some time.
Yeah, he's fast. I'm telling you, he's a fast race car driver right there, Blake Giglio. His results do not show it in this season. Remember, average finish like 27th, 28th, and 7 starts in this series. But his running position is much better than that. And you know, it's showing it here tonight, where he's got a good run going. Now he's just got to finish it off.
Yep. Apologies over the radio coming from the 97. Lucas Hoitzma finding Adam Benefield to give him a scare, apparently, because remember the tech issues. Well, and blink. Race control might say something after that.
Yeah, I missed it. I blinked.
Well, when you blinked, he blinked, and the problem is, Benefield is lucky he didn't drive through the 97 mid-blink.
You know, we're starting to get the thing where if you hear a word so many times, you don't think it's a word anymore. It's happening right now with the word blink. Oh, no.
Well, it is a word.
I know, but it just sounds weird now. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can see here, 15, 97. This is, again, that 97 I think is off the pace. He's not going to be able to be in contention for this lucky dog unless something happens between those top guys.
Yeah, falling down to 13 in the running order. Big concern is I don't think you're going to, should say not going to be as concerned anymore. Dylan Basin, I think, has enough of a cushion with how many laps to go unless he rapidly falls off. Hold on here. Race lead, though. You mentioned how tight it gets here with these battles. Right now, the 99 is having to fight lap traffic. Look at that 71 up at the top of the racetrack. Not making it easy for the leader. Here comes Giglio. He's trying to find somewhere to go.
Yeah, I told you that 71. He's trying to fight his own battle. He wants to stay one lap down. He cannot afford to go 2 laps down. He's got to try and fight with all his might to hang on to that spot, but it's not going to work out. But it slowed the 99 down enough to where 8 was able to catch up to him.
Yeah, all of them are trying to find a way to make sure this battle for the race lead stays clean. Under 15 to go in the stage. Right now, Galata preferring the top of the racetrack. Giglio preferring the bottom of it. A little bit of contact to the wall down the back straightaway at the very least. Next up in the order to get lap Medina, Moore. You also have Komacheski. Near bobble for the 8.
I think that 8 car might be losing some speed here on a long run. He's gotten to the back bumper, but he can't burst the bubble. And that bubble is that little draft of air right behind that 99. He's trying to burst that bubble. Once you get through that bubble, it might be a little easier for him. But the good news for the 8 is that 99 has 4 lap cars right in front of him. Jose Medina, the 42 of Moore, 88 of Komacheski, and the 5 of Bobby Anderson. This might be in the 8's favor if he can find ways around those cars faster than the 99 can.
They got to find a way to pick off the spots. Medina has been very cordial as of late. Moves out of the way there. Now Giglio cuts down, trying to find the diamond line. Bobbles off the wall yet again. Send up for the 8. Here we got the bumper of the 99 again. Still have about 12 laps to go. Near we got the leader loose as Corey Moore stays up high.
99's trying to block him as much as he can, but 8's not letting off that back bumper either. Man, this is great racing up front. 8 looks to the top. He can't find a hole. He goes right behind him now in the dirty air, pushing tight, contact with the 99. And now he's going to shoot down to the bottom, trying to make a pass for the lead. 3 wide almost with the lap car.
Giglio was lucky. He nearly got into the pit cone. He bounced off the leader. A save for the 8. Nearly spun it around down the back straightaway. Giglio resets. They're still trying to lap more. Take a look at how this nearly led to a crash and or a black flag.
Yeah, that 8 car, he tried to have a good exit there. 8 thought the 99 was going to go up behind the 42. Wasn't going to happen. 8 car now is closing in on the 99. He's got about a car length between him and that 99 car, but he's going to have to reset it up, and he doesn't have much time. Listen, 10 laps to go.
Running out of time. Right now, the 99 looking to pick up a stage win here. They still have Komacheski and Bobby Anderson up the road. Remember, Bobby Anderson just trying to outrace the 19 at the very least for the in-season challenge, is not doing that. In fact, not even on the same lap for those curious. Right now, Hutchinson has control for his own destiny to get to the final, Kirk.
He absolutely does. And watch this 8 car when he goes into this corner. Look how close he gets to that. Oh, nope, he switched up his line, went to the top that time. But that 8 car has been getting real close to the inside wall for lap after lap, multiple times, inches off of it. in turns 1 and 2, but that time he switches it up, goes up to the top, and it developed a big run, and now he's closing in on the 99.
Here we go, 5 to go. Bobby Anderson next on deck. The 5 staying to the middle top. Galata doing a good job getting corner exit speed here, and Bobby Anderson shouldn't be too much of a problem per se here. Watch the 8th line yet again as they take that 5 to go mark officially past that point. Right now the 5 up in the wall. Galata is clear of it.
Now they got a car separating him. I think it's going to be real hard for Giglio to get there. He's going to need a heck of a run in the last 4 laps to be able to get there. But we're coming down out of turn 4 again, 262. Just got a handful of laps before it's all said and done. And I think that 8 car really needs some luck because that 99 is going to get a big run on the back straightaway here.
Yep, right now, the 8's got to find a way to go. William Owens maintaining in front. Still staying within 2 or 3 car lengths. There's the cut for the 8. Giglio will now get around William Owens. Don't think there's enough time to get there to the bumper unless he moves him. And does he really want to move him in a part-time schedule? Answer leans towards no. Pit road is closed. Right now, the entire Kansas City Pioneers fan club, I think at this point, is saying he's in demon mode, if you will. He is trying to fight hard to get to that race lead here, get control of the race. Final time around, through for stage number 2. Galata maintains the bottom. A send up on the higher side for Giglio, but he's not close enough. Green, white, checkered. Joseph Galata, Blake Giglio in second. Lynn in the 3rd spot. Delaney, Duggar, followed by Benefiel. Long way around for some. O'Brien Jr., Tanner Marty, Dylan Basin, and would you believe 10th is a lap down to take away the lucky dog from Vroom Vroom. It's Tyler Hunter.
I can tell you right now, the drivers I told you about who I thought did the right strategy, Basin and Benefiel, worked out in their favor. They stayed on the lead lap. That fixes their tire problems and their lead lap problems. They're going to feel pretty dang good after all that.
It's turned a very interesting one here today. And we'll try this again for stage 3 with 9 coming up to 10 on the lead lap. 95's not going to be happy that he lost the lucky dog in the final laps, though.
Well, he did what he could to try and maintain it all the run long, but Tyler Hunter, I mean, not a bad, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a strategy, but if I were running the last car on the lead lap and I knew that there's a driver with the caliber of Roman sitting with the lucky dog spot, I might just let myself get lapped so I can try and make that difference work out. You can see side by side the 48 battle. Oh, he battled with him. Oh yeah, I thought he got passed by the leader. No, this is brilliant racing between the two. What a run from Hunter. Let's see how it happened.
Yeah, right there, side by side. Intense fighting here as the EPI car was able to reel this in the final moments. That's wild.
Awesome. Good for them. Good for EPI. Good for Tyler Hunter. I mean, now they're on pit road getting tires, and he's going to have himself a heck of a lucky dog day for him. That's for sure. Maybe he might get a little bit more lucky later in the afternoon. We'll find out.
99 over the 8 on pit road, by the way. Early service complete. Then it's the 67, followed by the 6, the 10, the 83, 65, 06, and 29. So everyone else is going to be in a simple spot after this point here forward here at Kurkov. Somebody is going to need a caution flag. A few people will, and we might have a few waiver rounds, actually.
Yeah, hold on a minute, actually. I'm looking at this. I think Tyler Hunter, who just got the lucky dogs, a lap down again.
Oh, my goodness.
Maybe. This is unorthodox. I am highly confused by this situation. I think it has something to do with the way the pacing works again, like we talked about.
With the pit stall, yeah. Yeah, he is a lap down, can confirm. Vroom and Graves got wave arounds, but the lucky dog did not keep the lead lap.
I'm shaking my head right now. That's wrong.
You know the wild thing? Casey Graves needs to pit in about 20 laps anyhow. First of all, he needs a caution immediately. Same for Vroom, because he's already 83 laps in.
Like I said, wave around worked out. We saw it happen with Roman. It worked out. Sorry, not Roman. Basin, and helped out Benefield as well. Now, whether or not that helps the 48, 48's in trouble. This is very unfortunate. I hate to see that for the 48. He deserves to have his lap back.
So let's try this here. Coming to start 273. Run will take us to the end at 450. That is 178-ish laps. The battle of red, white, and blue cars, ready to get united again. Green, off and away we go. Galata with the jump. Good start over the 8 as Delaney tries to find a way to keep up this time. Good start to begin, clean to begin with most of the field single file. Corey Moore's the first one side by side back there amongst the lappers.
There are a lot of lappers, man. Only 11 cars on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one if this stays green the rest of the way here with North Wilkesboro, to say the very least here. All that's to say, have to wonder if you're a virtual fan, what's the thought process? I know some various different members of this facility, in terms of the sim race communities, have definitely gone to this race with a lot of excitement to go there. The funny thing is, I've noticed one thing off topic. They kept the 1980s-ish RVs down the back straightaway. I wonder how the time travelers are enjoying the race.
I'm sure they're having a good time. You say time travelers, I just say people who can afford it. You know, whenever you can afford a parking spot like that, you probably want to go retro anyway. I mean, good Lord. It costs a lot of money to go there, but those I mean, they might have saved on the RV buying them old ones. So, I don't know. But I feel, I got to say this is absolutely horrid for that 48 car. He got the lucky dog, came down, got a regular pit stop, and he did not get his lap that he earned from being the first car one lap down on a great pass from Roman. He's right now battling with Roman, and Roman's on the lead lap from a wave around when the 48 is not, even though he deserved to be. So, I mean, iRacing has got to fix that. That's a problem. That shouldn't happen.
And really, in terms of all this, it's going to be survival for a lot of the air drivers now from this point. Kind of something you have to keep in mind for back you go in the order. Darrell's making a pass that is a lap down 23rd. But kind of right now, so many drivers are in so many boxes here, it's going to be hard to break out of them. Conklin's going to be one of those that we've touched upon a lot tonight, trying to make his laps back the old-fashioned way. He's a lap down at least now. Benefield, in his sake, is actually in a battle right now for fourth, more importantly, with Basin in the conversation too.
Good for them to have a great day. It's so hard to have a good day on a day like this. Strategy has to go your way. Pit stops have to go your way. And, you know, a lot of luck has to be on your side. And it looks like that they got all the luck in the world right now. It's currently sitting on the lead lap. Duggar, Basin, Benefield, Lim, all these guys. Very lucky and very surprised. Biggest name out of that list I see that is the biggest surprise to me, Tanner Marty. Amazing that he's still on the lead lap. That 29 looks clean. He has raced clean all day long, and now that 29 is in a position to have a top 10 today just by default, as long as he finishes the race. I think that's something to commend. Fantastic job from the 29, as long as he keeps it going.
Yeah, come away with a solid points day. Take advantage of the situation, absolutely.
season good. I mean, he doesn't have runs like this every day. I mean, this is a very good run for Tanner Marty. Give him, again, major props. He's overperforming right now, and I like seeing it.
And it's kind of interesting to see how this racetrack looks under the lights here compared to the 1987 version, which of course didn't have lights. And it's wild when you think about how much this facility changed over the course of even a couple decades before its abandonment. Remember, Dale Jr., a big part of its revival, trying to get the racetrack on iRacing, made its virtual debut during the pandemic in 2020. It's one of those who worked on the NASCAR crew that worked behind the scenes when it was on Fox for that one. Hold on
Caution's
1 second, caution's out. And there's a car in the wall, it's Devin Medeiros.
20 car. Nicholas Roman just, oh, you heard that too?
Yes, Nicholas Vroman is very happy on the radio right now.
I can't say what he said. I don't think we can say what he just said on the radio. I don't know if I want to say that in general, man.
He said,
Lord.
I love you to Devin Medeiros.
Proclaiming love on a simulator. God bless America.
That helps, that saves his race, and as well, a couple others. Because Casey Graves also gets to pit right before the fuel tank runs out. Huge for them, and with the majority of the field likely to stay out here, they get fresher tires, they might be fast and get up to the front.
Yeah, Graves, Roman, both of them got exactly what needed to happen to them happen. They needed that caution right when it happened. 4 laps down for Medeiros, not having a great day at all, gets loose on his own. Hadn't seen too many cars spin out and bring out a caution that much today, but that's the first time we saw it. And now you're seeing cars come down pit road. Sean O'Brien Jr., the first of the lead lap cars who do that. Again, good for those guys. They're in a position now where I think O'Brien Jr., Marty, Roman, Graves can take advantage of these fresh tires. Who knows? They might have something to say with top 5 even today if those tires work in their favor.
It's going to get interesting from this point forward. As you see, Sean O'Brien Jr. is in. They did extend the lane to allow everyone to pit. Lucky Dog, believe would have been a Robert Miller this caution period. He's currently taking the service. He's got to hurry, though. I think he's going to get lapped again.
Lucky Dog is not lucky. That is the truth of the matter. Yeah, he got lapped. He did not make it. So, but he's holding him behind the pace car. He's mad. He's shaking the wheel. He's furious. You might get the lucky dog, but it is the most unlucky place to get the lucky dog.
Nicholas Roman got EOL'd here. He missed his box is what he said, because he tried to pit, went low, tried to pit in somebody else's box, then got the EOL penalty because he missed everything. And they're all trying to situate themselves. Robert Miller is not happy. He thinks people laid back.
He's arguing his case like he should have, and same thing that we should have saw with Tyler Hunter. They should have absolutely let those 2 cars get the laps back, but it's not happening.
That's the second lucky dog that's not been able to maintain the lead lap with a pit stop.
You can't pit with a lucky dog. It turns it into an EOL. It is better to let someone else get the lucky dog and take the wave around than it is for anything else.
And all you can say to that end here is we are still going to have 11 on the lead lap. Vrum's going to have to pass by everybody. Casey Graves in the same boat here from the tail in the lead lap situation. But it's Galata versus Giglio out the front. Lim versus Delaney. Benefield versus Basin in terms of your row matchups. They've been going right at the start of the restart zone. They go again about there. Back underway. And the Bigfoot machine able to get the edge to start the run. Well, that last.
Oh, there they go. The 5-car Bobby Anderson, 40-car Jose Medina around early. Caution back out yet again in the back of the field. Corey Moore involved.
Believe Hastings may have been a spark because watch the 81.
3 wide back there. That looked fine. 81 just came up, hit the 5. He must have thought he was going to be closer to the 17. I don't think so. If we can go on board with that 81, that might be a little bit easier to tell, but you're going to see this happen here. 17 down low, 81 goes into the corner, 4 wide, 5-car just is there and sends the 40-car out and around. This is going to be really the part that's going to show us what happened here. Look in the mirror. There goes the 17. He thinks he's going to be 3 wide, 4 wide. 5 cars already there. He doesn't have room to do that. So, racing incident, of course, but it's unfortunate that it happened.
Benefiel O'Brien Jr. Munsters coming down this caution. Ralph Hutchinson is the lucky dog this time in the 19 car. And the majority of the leaders will stay out. Hutchinson actually does not pit this time.
Good. That's the only way it benefits you. You cannot pit being the lucky dog. It just does not work.
Really, at this point, we are still outside the fuel window to make it to the end, obviously. So now, what's kind of the game plan if you're some of these drivers here with the way this race is turning out?
If you're the top 2, Galata and Giglio. Giglio wants to stay green to the finish. Galata, he loves this. He wants to see caution after caution. He needs short runs. Short runs is his benefit. And that's the only thing that's going to help him win this race. But I will give him some credit. That last run, right before we saw this green flag little stint here, he was able to hold off the 8-car Giglio. And that means that his long run speed has improved. So I don't know if that 8-car has the car to be able to pass him anymore, or if he has the car to catch him but not quite get around him. It's going to be the top 2 in their own little realm. But if you're June Salim, if you're Jonathan Delaney, Dylan Basin, or anyone on the lead lap, you come down for tires now. I would have came down if I was June Salim. If I was Jonathan Delaney, I'd come down for tires right now. The top 2 will be on older tire sets. You still have an extra set in the pits you can use if necessary. And I think that would have been a winning move here. Because if we stay green, you will have a constant fresher tire than those 2 cars that are the fastest all day. You got to go off sequence. You cannot do the same thing that Giglio and Galata has been doing all day, or you're still going to be running 3rd place right behind him.
That in mind, as Medina tries to sort himself. I think everyone's trying to get lined up still. This could get interesting with the 40s situation. Green flag is out back underway. There's a big gap behind Medina. It's causing a stack up back there. All that's to say, we're back to racing. Basin now back up to the top 4. First time in a while.
17 almost wrecked the car off turn 4. I'm sorry to interrupt. That car was dead sideways.
Sideways that time of the run, side of 48. And it's going to get very interesting in the case of Conklin back there because he is trying to take the lucky dog to get on the lead lap alongside that 48 car he bobbled against. Top 2 single file, lucky dog side by side. Vrillman amongst those moving forward as well.
All right. Now here's the deal. The battle I'm looking at is Delaney. Delaney right now and Basin. They're side by side right now for the 3rd place spot. Bason's been looking
back straightaway. Dunker nearly spun it around. The 10 held on. What a save by Duggar. Barely saved it without getting hit by somebody.
Great job by the 65 to avoid him, too. That was a difficult spot to catch him, and he did good trying to miss him. He did miss him, so it worked out for him. But the one who it doesn't really work out for is Tyler Hunter. Tyler Hunter now battling with him. But back up here to the P3 situation, you can see that 60 car, the 06 rather, Dylan Basin. He's fast. He won last week, remember, at Atlanta Superspeedway. He can try and win it again here on a short track, a little something different. Giglio and Galata, though, are the hard ones to beat. 8 car has not launched yet. He is saving his stuff. I think he's waiting for the right moment to go. He has yet to hit that moment. He is maintaining, trying to keep that car where it is. Once he hits the long run capacity, he's going to catch up to that 99 real quick. Now, the 06 has a good shot to get by the 8 right now. He's on the back bumper of him, tries to find a way through. But look at this. Casey Graves want to move for the 01. He has fresh tires on that thing.
Yeah, he's trying to find a way to go. That's what we were talking about. The difference with some of the caution periods. It's going to come into play with a couple of those wave around drivers that then got the chance for tires. Graves having a chance to move up to the top 5 possibly. He gets up there in the battle of the Toyota Camrys. You know who's got fresher tires? O'Brien Jr., who's right behind him also in this choo-choo train.
Those cars really do like step out of turn number 4, but that 01's doing all he can. He's driving the wheels off the car, trying to gain what he can and catch these guys, but hasn't worked yet. And Giglio's doing a good job of keeping Basin behind him, Delaney behind him. You're starting to see a train develop behind the 8 car, and nobody's able to make any moves, at least for that second place spot. But back a little further, of course, Junson Lim's able to maintain position over Graves every time he goes to the bottom. Graves might need to rethink his approach.
Yeah, he might have to try and think, maybe try the outside, try and change up the line. There he goes. He is going to try the outside. He directs himself from it.
Yeah, right. Not a very well. Oh, back into the outside wall. Not a well-handling race car at all. Car is loose up top. He tried something. You know, give him credit. He tried something. Once the bottom didn't work, got to try the top. And he carried a lot of speed in there. Look at how much speed he carried in. It's just too much for the right rear. Right rear let out, and then he got loose again, overcorrected into the wall. But he's still on the lead lap, so he is running P11 right now, it looks like. So not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not something he wanted to have happen. He was in a good spot.
Brilliant spot. As they all drive their way around. They're all stacking up behind that 8 machine, who again saves a little bit of this part of the run, similar to the last one. Basin, remember, trying to save a little bit too. And here comes the question, how does the Ryko car perform here in the later parts of the night now? Remember, earlier, he and Conklin were fading quickly on their tire stints at the end of the run.
I stress to these folks that the longer we go, the more we're going to start seeing cars just absolutely take on a new life. And that 6-car Delaney, I think, is going to be one of them. Remember, he didn't really start picking up the speed until that graphical adjustment from day to night. And when that happened, that 6-car has been in the top 5 ever since. He has the speed to be there, but I don't know if he has the speed to catch up to Giglio, let alone Galata. He's got the speed for a top 5 today. He's going to need a lot more help to catch up to the top 2.
See how much the temperatures have bobbled around right now. The air temp, it's about 79 at the moment. The track temp has dipped a little bit, so it's a little bit more grippier. But it's not as much as in past short track years. Again, it's still pretty hot, the surface. It's still to where if it was air, you'd be sweating. At this point, again, the fall-off band has seen the speeds pick up by a tenth or 2 compared to earlier where it was much hotter, but it's still about 9/10 to 1.2 seconds.
Let's see. Can I ask if if our lovely producer can bring up that in-season challenge? We kind of want to get an update on that, see how they're doing. It might take a second, but when we get a chance to pull that up, see how it's going, see where the drivers are. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much set in stone right now with the 5-car not having such a great day.
Yeah, I can definitely remember the matchups. The 83 is already in advance because here's the thing, 16 not here tonight. Yes. That depends on if there is a swap allowed, keep in mind. That's the big thing. Now, here's the note. When it comes to Cup Tournament, there was no note for a swap put in through that side. That being said here, the matchup we do know about, 19 versus 5. Right now, both of those drivers have had roller coaster nights. Bobby Anderson more so with the damage. Right now, if you were to see the 19, it's 11th. Bobby Anderson is 24th. In other words, yeah, exactly. It's Hutchinson's to lose unless he wrecks the car.
Exactly right. He got to keep that car underneath him. He doesn't care. I think that's a good reason why he's running where he's running. He's not dealing with very many cars on the same lead lap right now. And I think that's benefiting him. As we saw right here, Basin get by Giglio. Basin now moves up to P2, trying to chase down Golota. Within 1 second of him, 8/10 is what he's got to chase him back down with. Third place, Giglio is trying to hold off Benefield, but Benefield goes to the bottom. He's better at wrapping the bottom than anybody. Giglio cannot afford to let these guys go. He's got to maintain his run because that 8 car won't be able to use his late run speed if he gets passed by people who are also trying to also have late run speed. 83 is one of those cars.
Yeah, and we see again how much Benefield is able to drive at this part of the run, capitalize on a lot of different driver speeds. Go from here, he's right up in there for the top 3 right now. With 125 to go, we're almost towards where fuel can be good to go. Some drivers might think about that call again, but again, knowing what happened last long run, do you gamble again of there being a caution, or do you stay out?
If you're a driver like Casey Graves, like Ralph Hutchinson, Tanner Marty, you have nothing to lose. Nothing. You are having a great day. And, you know, I'd say those cars, if you want to win the race, yes, come down pit road. Because you're not going to catch Golota. You're not going to catch Basin. But can you out-strategize them? You need a lot of luck. But in order to win the lottery, you got to first play the lottery.
Yes, you do. And here's the thing. The lottery, what is the saying? It takes a lot of investment, let's put it that way. If you want to take a big investment, you have to put a good investment in the first place. In other words, you're not going to win $1,000 on a $1 bet. You put in a $100 bet, you can definitely try and get $1,000, but there's a lot more risk at that. By the way, you can see up at the top of the screen, 90% of lottery winners quit before their big win. They big win. This is why you also make sure you get, I don't even know where I'm going with this. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't take the risk, you don't win. If you take the risk and lose, you get very mad. If you win the strategy, you win the race.
The way I like to look at it here, man, is if you're a driver who is, like I said, Tanner Marty, Duggar, Vroman even, O'Brien, Delaney, these guys who we have seen to not have the speed to catch Basin and Golota, if they put themselves in a position to be able to take a giant risk, to put down that $1,000 and say, all on 17 black, you know, then one roulette wheel where it does not throw caution could benefit you. It could make you win big. You could win the whole dang race that way. But there are a whole lot of other numbers out there. Your odds are slim to none. But at least you would have said, I did my best. I tried to win. Instead of being happy with 8th or 9th or 10th, you are trying to win. And of course, most people will be happy with 7th, 8th, and 9th. I'd be happy with 7th, 8th, and 9th. But of course, if you want to win the race, you got to go crazy. You got to try something. And the only drivers who I think can do that on raw speed are in your top 3, top 4. I don't know if Benefield can catch him, but I know that Basin's there. I don't think Basin can catch Golota, but we've only seen one car with the ability to catch Golota on a long run, and that is Giglio.
And I think, again, we're waiting to see when that run swings by. He's about that same interval to have to close back up the 99 here. Easier said than done right now, as there hasn't really been too many passes, by the way, the past little bit for those curious. Much of the field has kind of gone into a rhythm state. This is, it feels like to me, a track where you can definitely zone out thinking about your marks at. Nicholas Roman is your biggest mover of the race, by the way, followed by Tyler Hunter, both of them coming from the back tonight. Sean O'Brien Jr., the third biggest.
Casey Graves, remember who we saw get up in the outside wall after running in the top 5. He just got lapped again. Now he is the current Lucky Dog winner if it happens. He's trying to hang on to it before the 17 of Sean Conklin gets to his back bumper, and he's about maybe 2 seconds behind that number 01 car. So if that 17's able to pass the 01, he's a lucky dog. But remember, lucky dog tonight is more of a painful problem than it is a powerful tool to stay on a lead lap, because you can't keep your lead lap in pit at the same time like a lucky dog normally allows.
You got to think, where is this going to cycle long term? We're seeing that, just how much some of these drivers are hungry for this. Look at Delaney trying to find a different line there, find a little bit cleaner to the nose, not getting the run that time, as Benefiel is under attack by Conklin, who is still trying to unlap himself the hard way and get up to Casey Graves, who is just up the road for the lucky dog.
That's what we were just talking about. Yeah, that 01, he's off the pace big time. 17's to the outside now. He's passing him. It's happening live right now, 17 and the 01. They're 3 wide with the 83 right there. You can see on your screen right there. And now that that's happened, the 17 is in the lucky dog spot. But I think this could be different, because 17 will be towards the front of this pacing field. If a caution were to come out, he might be able to pit and stay on the lead lap because he's so far forward.
Right now, this could get very interesting for if there's a time of the caution flag. Conklin looking to do the improbable or the near impossible. Just needs the luck to fall his way and pick the right strategy for pit stop timing. Delaney still trying to run high side and Hansen for the spot. Nothing's working right now to close this.
I'm looking at the lap times right now for our top 3. That last time by, guess who the fastest person in the top 5 was? P3. Absolutely, Giglio. His time is now. It's starting up. He's 76 laps on his stint, though. So, oh man, it's late in the run for him to start taking advantage of it. And that last lap, he only had the fastest lap by he didn't even have the fastest lap. I believe that was Benefiel who had the fastest lap that last time by.
Yeah, Benefiel, last time in 19.307, quicker than just about everybody else on the racetrack by at least a few hundredths of a second. Here comes Delaney, finally gets to the door at least. But right now, the outside, able to defend. Near contact, actually. Delaney nearly got to the fender. He'll try it again.
It's good racing. Good showing from Lim and Delaney, having some fun. But again, this is all for naught unless strategy is able to be pulled on their own way. They're hoping for something bad to happen to the front 4. I think that they're having great days still. Top 6 is a great day. But for them, he got the nose down in there. 67's really trying to race defensively, but just 6 car can't quite get it done without using the bumper, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to use it. That's the thing. I think he wants to get this done cleanly, obviously. Show respect here. And with under 102 laps to go, there's a bit of a bing, bop, boom to the door.
Door banging. That's it. And that 67's doing a great job of maintaining his speed on the outside. 6 might be faster over the course of the long run, but passing is difficult. See, he used the bumper. He gave him a shot, moved him up the hill. 67, though, great job. Normally that works. Okay, folks? Normally you get in the corner, hit him in the right in the bumper, car goes up out of the groove, you're good to go. But that 67 held his line. He was able to hold on to it. And that 67's made a gap on the 6 again.
Yet again. Looking to try and reset.
Sorry to interrupt you. The 17 of Conklin has caught the back bumper of the 8 of Giglio. Giglio's also caught the back bumper of Basin. 3 cars, all under a little blanket here. This is second and third, and also the lucky dog position.
This is getting interesting again. Remember, Conklin trying to find a way to keep himself clean here, keep up with the cars as they get lapped. Right now, just riding behind one of the quickest cars, Dylan Basin is getting passed here possibly by Giglio. He's on the outside, nearly got there. It's the Ryko sandwich, the RFK sandwich technically.
Yeah, Galata's been real dominant. I'd be very surprised if Giglio can make up that ground, but he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's the truth of the matter. And once he's able to get by, if he's able to, maybe he can chase him down, but it's hard to pass Basin. Basin's one of the better drivers we got out here. He's really good at being a defensive driver, but the 8 car, look at that run on the outside. He's going to be there on the exit of turn 4, side by side for P2.
Look at this. It's Giglio on the outside. Here comes the run. The 8 trying to make the pass. Giglio will get himself back at the second, and the Chargers back on for the race lead. Under 2 seconds again.
Now what can that 8 car do? He's got to chase down to 99. He's got 1.5 seconds, 1.6 seconds to try and make up in 94 laps. He'll have to pit, though. Every one of them are going to have to come down pit road one more time.
And obviously, everybody is not taking the risk right now on the caution period. It looks like no one's taking an early stop this window, but we are at about that time again. We originally seen that. Remember, Basin did 10 laps earlier than everyone else. Medina saying for some of these leaders to zip on by on the inside to move out of the way. That being said, what's going on with Galata? You see Delaney right now running back with Limstow. They are still fighting. But that 99 fall off has gone 2/10 worse than everybody else at the racetrack again with under 93 to go.
Oh boy. Well, it looks like we're getting a long run scenario so far. Doing the numbers here, Giglio at this current pace where he is running will catch Galata in the next 10 to 15 laps. If nothing changes. Remember, he's still got to navigate lap traffic, and 8 car made it look easy, but now both cars kind of in the clear. We're going to be able to get a real good view of how fast they actually are here right now. It's Thomas Kulmacheski first to hit pit road.
A little bit of a bobble for one of the RFK machines. Kulmacheski opening the pit window as mentioned, laps down. That was Dylan Basin that had the bobbles, and Basin's coming down too.
Yep, he's playing the lottery. He's trying to play the lottery. Basin knows he might not have the speed to contend with Galata or Giglio right now. The only way he has a chance of winning is by some pit strategy, and he is trying it out right here, right now. 88 laps to go.
Will he get the race to stay green like he needs it to? Benefiel you're following along with has lost touch to Giglio, who has gained another 3/10 the past 5 laps on the race leader. You got to keep an eye on that 8, absolutely knocking the time down yet again. One of the drivers in reserve for the NASCAR Series is on the chew gap, but the caution is out. And
does not help Basin at all. Dunzo. 88 of Kulmacheski.
Basin just exit pit road, and Kulmacheski, who just pit, puts us under caution.
I don't like the way that looked.
I think that car on colder tires just snapped.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I didn't like the way that looked. On board, it may have just snapped. Absolutely possible. You're right. Cold tires happen. I just don't like it. Don't like the view of that. That is I don't know. I didn't like that.
That puts us under 85 to go. And everybody else is going to come down pit road for the, not possibly the final time, depending on when a caution comes out for tires, but this will definitely get everyone else good to go on fuel. John Conklin got on the lead lap because of this caution, and actually got the chance to pit with the back end of the field this time. But will there be enough time? Robert Miller is amongst those in the wave around situation.
All right, I'm keeping an eye here on the 17. 17 cannot pit here and expect to stay on a lead lap. He's on pit road right now, and because of this, he's going to need a fast pit stop. He's going to need to do pretty dang quick pit stop right now. He's taking right sides. Here comes pace car. Left side's dropped. He's moving. He got lucky. He saved it. He's going to be able to stay on the lead lap, it looks like.
And able to drive around the 5 as well. John O'Brien Jr. said on the radio he was a gallon short on gas, even with the fill-up, potentially. There's a lot of conversation about how close drivers were going to be on gas right now with the fuel limit mileage right now. Still, though, Galata, Giglio, Delaney, Benefield, Lim, O'Brien Jr., Vroom Vroom, Duggar, Marty, Hutchinson, Conklin are all on the lead lap with the wave rounds of Graves and Basin.
Whoa, wait, hold on a minute. That means Bason's still in this thing. He's still on the lead lap, it looks like. So because of that, he has fresher tires, and he's on the lead lap. He got lucky, very lucky. He didn't get lapped twice. He only got lapped once when that wreck happened. The luck on this man's side is insane with that. It's unfortunate it didn't stay green for him, but at least he's on the lead lap and might be able to make something up of his day.
Potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
Gonna have to come for the very back, obviously. He's already Graves is telling already drivers to go high on the restart. I think it's zipping forward. Galata shows the high side, by the way, up at the front row. 80 to go to decide the race. Right now, the 99 holding the outside of control alongside that 8 again. It's been a familiar sight all night. Does Galata have enough on the long run to hold back Giglio, or does Giglio have the chance here to zip on by later in the run? Or let anyone else join in? Let's find out. Green flags out. We're back away.
Best restart all night for that bottom lane. He might have a chance to contend with the 99. Not quite enough. 83, though, is going to get a run for P2. He goes down to try and make a move on the 8 car.
Once again, Benefield trying to find a way to go in the short run at least. The bobble for Giglio at the front.
99 and Galata got real loose, almost wrecked the car. Top 3 are all under a blanket with 79 laps to go.
All of them working their way through. O'Brien Jr. is the first side-by-side with Lim at the moment. Working door to door, a little bit of scrape with the 65. Delaney trying to ride the high side. Giglio is pushing the pace a little bit harder than normal here to start this run, I think.
You have to. At this point, we saw how long it took for his long run speed to kick in. He's got to put that aside and just hope his car has the ability to catch up to that 99 early. As back in the field, more and more contact happening. Wrecking on the back front straightaway. In fact, the 42 Corey Moore going around making contact with some folks. Not happy on the radio. I think the 17 may have had something to do with that.
Can confirm Conklin did have contact. Moore got loose.
It was not his fault. Yep. It was not the 17 at all.
Yeah, he got loose in front of the 17. He and Tyler Hunter both pushed through. Stay green.
Feel bad for the 17. He's always around those little incidents there. It's not even his fault. It's just like, oh man. Got me worried there for a minute there. He's doing good. Conklin is trying to recover from his 2 laps down at one point. Already trying to get back on and do really well here. Top 10.
Find out how things go by the end of the night at this rate. Giglio is fading back with Galata's short run speed. Galata, by the way, this is similar to a performance you would expect this season from, say, the Renko camp, but Galata last year did the same thing, remember, on speed. The 99 has led near 300 laps so far.
Dominance by Galata. Short run car, but as it's gone further into the nighttime, that car is able to maintain speed on the long run. What a car. What a driver tonight to be able to maintain it and absolutely destroy the competition, really. The only car that's been able to compete with him is Giglio, and Giglio has to wait for his tires his setup to really hit the right mark to be able to get there. Give Galata a lot of credit in that 99. Bigfoot Chassis Collective's got it going on tonight.
All of this is to say, as we continue to follow along with the action, somebody is going to be thinking, what am I going to do to find a way to out-strategize the others with the way things are shaping up? You see how much Delaney is trying to use that outside yet again. Clean air has been big up at the top side, but nothing's working for some of the drivers to get really something built up here on the track. First side-by-side, you have to go back to where Sean Conklin is again, who's actually battling with drivers such as Tanner Marti for the top 10 right now in the backdrop.
Top 10 is going to be a really, really good day here today. If you're able to get it, that means you've been on the lead lap. You've done it. You've been able to have the speed to maintain and keep it going. And Conklin just now took over that 10th place spot. Now 17 moving forward, trying to get to the top 5. He's about 4 seconds off from the leader. So he's got a ways to go to get back up to the front. But again, the top group here is all within 2 seconds. Top 4 are all under 2 seconds from each other. So I mean, one bobble, one mistake, I think is going to be a big deal out of Galata. Galata's got to keep his car under control. Look at that gap he's got all the way back to second. Second, third, and fourth are nose to tail. They're running around the same speed, but Galata has really launched that car into the stratosphere 1 second ahead of second place. So the one mistake Galata cannot make is getting loose. He's got to keep that car underneath him.
It's going to be so critical to make sure you save the tires absolutely with the way things are shaped up. They haven't gotten back to some of the personal bests yet this run, but they are running already 6/10 or so a fall from some of those personal bests already, about 20 laps in. Backdrop has some side-by-side, by the way. The Conklin show continues. Points later, continuing to plug away spots. He's now up to 8th. What were you plugging away? You were saying.
I don't know if I'm ready to necessarily play this, but what the hell? Might as well. I'm thinking he's moving.
He's faster than the leader by half a tenth. But
yeah.
The thing, keyword half a tenth. That's more than one word, but still.
Yeah, your point is it's minuscule, but at least he's running faster. I don't know. It could be close, but I think the real driver to watch is still going to be Giglio. 10 laps to go. Giglio's probably going to have the fastest race car on the racetrack. I'm willing to wager that if we stay green. If we don't stay green and we get cautions, forget about it.
There's an air spot. This time it's on Vroman if he clears by. Again, these two used to work together about a year or so ago. Right now, Conklin. Using the lap car as a pick, maybe? No, we'll make the pass regardless before that point. So that's now up to 7 for car 17 with 60 to go. He needs to close up 3.2 seconds to get there. Next up in the order would be O'Brien Jr., who again is having his best night of the season.
John O'Brien Jr. having absolutely the best night of his season. What a day for that 65. I think he needs to keep that fat thing on there the entire damn season. Look at that Ozempic right there again. If you missed it earlier in the broadcast, the back bumper of this thing reads, if you're ugly and fat, just be ugly, or something like that. I don't know. because you can use Ozempic to get rid of that fat. Is what he's got a good sense of humor about it. But he's about to get passed from Conklin again.
See some side by side. Delaney again against his nemesis of the night. These two have been well connected for about 100 laps or so at least. They have not been able to separate.
They were door banging early in the run too. They were door to door trying to fight each other, and it's still door to door fighting each other into turns 3 and 4. This is about a fourth again.
Still not done. At some point, Delaney trying to clear on by. Oh, and don't forget, there is a good point. O'Brien Jr. did have a strong run at Daytona to start the season, so in other words, it's been a while. It's the strongest non-super speedway race of the season, you can argue. Conklin has caught up to him in the 67 car.
Oh boy, I know. I'm looking at the sure track position. He's gaining it, but look at the distance between him and the leader. Not really changed much. Staying right around 3.4, 3.2 this entire time for Conklin. So because of that, I don't know. I don't think he can get there unless he has clear track ahead of him and he doesn't have to deal with anybody, and that's not going to happen tonight. So I think it's really all up to Giglio now. Giglio's going to need to have a lot of tire saved to make this work, but he is also 1.8 seconds behind the leader. He's got a long way to try and make up. If you look at him right now, leader's exiting turn 4 right now. That distance is so short that, I mean, it's such a long distance that it's going to be difficult for Giglio to make it up, but I think there's a good shot he might.
He's done it a couple times. It's just a matter of is there going to be enough time by the time he gets the faster part of the run on the tires to actually make the pass.
Oh,
That's
man.
the easier said than done part. That hasn't worked since the night time. It's gotten darker and darker, and the track temp has gotten cooler and cooler. So
Can we pull up that comparison lap time? I think I just saw something out of Giglio. I'm getting a vibe. If we can look up comparison lap between Galata and Giglio real quick. I'm going to check it just to make sure. Yeah, okay. He is gaining. Very slight, but gaining nonetheless. That last handful of times. Not this time.
Not able to close as much here. Current sectors, let's go with. See right now a 9.6 in one sector. That's about 10 1,000ths. That is minuscule. That is right now a little bit quicker, but that's not going to win you the difference. You see right there, he lost the time back.
Tenths. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, okay. Look, I thought, and based from what I could see, his thing went down a little bit for the last couple laps. And now the last two, the moment I bring it up, he's slow again. Maybe if we ignore him, he'll start going back up towards front. We'll find out.
Yeah, meanwhile, Conklin has caught up to Delaney. Next up on the order. Now the 17. See his speed difference a little bit popped up there, but right now Conklin 19 flats, but has been marred in traffic. Still has 45 to go. This upcoming time by. Looking to make the pass on the bottom here. It's going to take a lot of time. This track has been taking about 4 to 5 laps per time to make a pass, it seems, tonight.
It does take a lot of time to make this pass happen. And, you know, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. It's all right. Just notice something. I ain't going to talk about it. Just because I don't want to screw with it. 17, though, if he's able to catch the 6, again, look at that lap time, though, distance from the leader. 3.6. He's lost 0.3 on a leader since this whole run started. So, I don't know. I don't think that 17 can get there. I think he might get to 4th. He might get maybe even to 2nd. I don't think he's going to catch Giglio or Galata. Galata and Giglio, it's their race to win tonight. Galata's just got to maintain his stuff. He's doing a great job of doing just that. But Giglio, man, he still can absolutely get there. 43 laps to go. He's just got to run the race of his life, the best race of his life. Hunter True on pit road.
That's interesting, but he's already 118 laps to the run. That'll explain why. Noah Hodgson, Stephen Williams are in the same boat, as well as Devin Medeiros. They're all in the 100-lap club, and they're the only drivers that cannot make it on fuel. They've been amongst those trying to get some laps back, but are multiple laps down apiece. Right now, they'll just take the service and get their cars to the end, try and get the best points they can. And remember, we haven't touched upon next week quite yet. It is a crown jewel. It is Indy.
Yep, but if we learned anything from this week in Indianapolis, I hope to God we don't wreck with 2 to go.
I'm not going to get into that conversation today, but I will say some of the drivers in this race
We're there.
Let's say that.
They were there. They had nothing to do with the chaos, but they were there. They saw it. It was a nightmare. Good God. DJ EJ or whatever, he put on a heck of a review video. If you haven't watched that, go out there and take a look at it. Good little mini doc, explain the whole situation.
Either way, as let's step away from the gigantic elephant in the room saying address me right now and focus on the race cars. That being said, right now, bumper to bumper for this 8th position still. You have lap cars trying to make their way through as well. This is going to be difficult because fresh tires for the 71 now is a factor.
Yeah, but he's going to lose a little bit of time. That's the thing. It's, in terms of trying to, he's going to be passing these guys, yeah, but I think that the lead lap cars don't have to worry about that too much once they get by. Again, 17's not even able to get by Delaney there, so I think the 17's kind of evened out with everybody else. Giglio, though, hey, look at that. Look at that. Up there, leader, Giglio, they're a second now, less than a second. They have closed it in within 1 second. I think it may have something to do with lap cars, but I don't know if he's going to be able to close it in anymore now. He's got to keep it up. He cannot afford to lose any ground to that 99 anymore. He's got to get constantly on the forward march.
It is about that time of the run where we've seen the 8 transform and be the faster car long run. Right now, interesting enough, he is using a bit of the apron. You noted a little bit earlier. He's doing that on both ends now, using the flat to turn the car.
It reminds me of that a super late model race, Snowball Derby, when they get real close to that inside wall in turn 1 and 2. It's kind of like that, at least in turn 1. It feels like he gets so close to that wall, similar feeling that you get when you're in turn 1 at that racetrack. So, I don't know. I think that if Giglio can maintain the speed and get lucky with some lap cars, we might see ourselves a thriller here at the end. But he's going to need a lot of help to make it happen.
He's going to need to figure out something here. Duggar, by the way, now has vroom on the high side, trying to stay away from the bumper. 10 sees a lot of smoke kicked up with Medina up the road. A few drivers just scraping the wall down. That's where the smoke's coming from. But Medina scrapes the wall down yet again as he lets everybody on through. By the way, Basin, top 10, is right on the doorstep too.
Basin trying to get to the back bumper of the 10 car. Yeah, this is kind of like a 3-car battle back here. It's probably the closest battle we got on the racetrack other than Delaney and Conklin, I'd say. But this 3-car battle, they want to try and get every point they could possibly get. But again, Roman, Duggar, and Basin, this is a very unorthodox race. Some of the cars up front, we would not expect to see up front very often. Galata, he's a guy who we know can lead a lot. He's led a lot of laps. I think back to Richmond last year, where he just dominated, ran away with the thing. Giglio, P2, who has had an abysmal finish rate over the past 7 starts he's had with us. 28th, 27th average finishes. The 20 car keep bouncing off the wall. Be careful, guys. 20 car is not really handling too hot right now. But then you get Jim Salim, who's fast, but he hasn't been top 3 fast that often. He finishes 2nd, 3rd. He's done that before, but he's yet to win this year. I'm sure that all three of them would love to get a win today, but there are drivers that we expect up front all the dang time. For example, Conklin, Payson. We saw them all year long. 8 wins and like 4 wins respectively, 3 wins, something like that. They've won the majority of the races this year. They are just having to play catch up all day long and having a great day at the end. Top 10 runs, not something you should ever complain about. But it is definitely a little less than what we've come to expect. Same thing from Vroman. Same thing from drivers like Robert Miller. He's another one. Lucas Hoytsman, 15th.
There's so much happening right now, this part of the race here, especially with under 25 to go. There's that 95 up the racetrack meanwhile. Basin will try and go. And Basin for the 8th position, looking to clear, will get the squeeze from Vroom. But yet again, that RFK car still not able to make its way forward. Lead, by the way, stretching back Galata's direction the past few laps. Yeah, it's gone completely gone because he's lost half a second all of a sudden. As some of the drivers or people would be noting here in the comments, that's because really all you could say is the pace faded back. He didn't reach traffic at all. He just faded.
You hate to see it for him, but what I'm also noticing is if you take a look from, let's see if I can get a good angle here to make sure I got it. If you look at TV1 of the 99, real quick, TV1 from the 99. Take a look at these brake rotors, guys. These brake rotors are on fire. They are hot. They have been using these brakes so dang much. It might have something to do with some higher tire pressures. I don't know. I think so. But that's at least my opinion. I like to pretend like something like that matters. But here we go. You can see it. That glow is so cool in the nighttime. I love watching that when the cars go by. I love that they added that feature to see the glow of the brake rotor.
See that right now, just how much it shows the temperature of these brakes are just burning up. Had to make sure you don't have any brake fade actually with this run. See, they're turning not just orange, they're turning like bright red. That
worries me because there's a chance tomorrow in the Cup Series race we might see a exploded rotor if they choose the wrong one. I think that may have happened earlier last year too. I'm not entirely sure. I think that may have been either there or Worldwide Tech. But both tracks are very, kind of have a not necessarily similar feel, but because, Worldwide Tech is a little bit bigger, but I still kind of get similar vibes from both. So we saw brake rotors have problems at both tracks, I believe, last year.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, battle for second. Look at Lim.
Now, where did that come from? This has turned into a struggle for the 8 car. What in the world has happened? They had to have gone the wrong way in adjustment here.
Yeah, like I said, some cars are set up for the daytime and some cars are set up for the nighttime. And what I can say is the nighttime is always the right time.
Let's see. Ollie. I wonder if he made the car too loose. Yeah, he's not able to get the drive off.
Great day for the 8, though. There's a chance he might even lose third here if he's not careful. Delaney sitting P4 right now. He's about 3 seconds back. I think the 8 car is pretty much settled for a podium spot without a caution. But what a day for Jun Salim. Man, awesome day for him. He might get his third P2 of his career. He'd love to get one more spot greater, but 20 cars up in the outside wall again just behind him. But again, good run for that 67 machine. And we have to always address this. Galata just has been dominant today, unless it was on a long run up until this last stage. Galata has fixed his car. It is running great. He is listening to some beautiful music, probably sipping on a macchiato, not a worry in the world.
And ready to celebrate one of the more dominant wins outside of maybe the Conklins this season.
Yeah.
To say the least, this feels like 2025 Galata when he made part-time starts in that 99 car. Whoa, he's been able to just get the speed built up.
It reminds me of that Richmond race where he led almost every lap. The guy was superb. And he's doing something very similar here tonight. Again, give Giglio credit. He had a great car all night long. Probably will get a top 3 podium if he's able to maintain his speed. But again, give him some credit. He had himself a great night, and I bet if he finishes off P3, he'll feel a little disappointed, but he will still have had a great day for him. And the thing is, all the cars in the top 5, I don't see complaints out of them unless they are wanting to win every single race, which all of them want to do, of course. You see side-by-side battle here, Benefield and Conklin. He's not going to let this up easy. Those two cars kind of like getting at each other.
Yep, there we go with Conklin, able to jump up to the top 5. Going to be pretty happy with the points haul with under 10 laps to go. Final stretch here from North Wilkesboro in what has been a night as predicted of attrition. It's been a long type of short track race here tonight with 450 laps on the original scheduled distance. And tonight, it's definitely had to have worn out a few of these competitors. We finished off with 6 drivers here in the final stretch down pit road. A few drivers just got to make sure one thing. Just make sure it stays green. Let by some of those that are faster, like this lap traffic here at Trill, and just focus. Because Galata, he's hoping the race doesn't go to caution. It doesn't become a strategy on who stays out versus 2 or versus 4 versus anything.
We do not want to see another Indy. That is the truth of the matter. All right? Green to the end. Please, come on. Get there. I can tell you right now, it's been a great race. All the drivers have been doing exactly what they got to do. Some tried some crazy strategies. Some tried strategies, the only ones that they could possibly make, and it didn't work out in their favor. But today, Galata's strategy, which is be up front all day long, be in the top 2 spots, win the race by a lot, seems to be the winning one.
Another 4 laps to go this time by. 99 just will turn the laps. He's followed along with matching the left sides, by the way, on towards the flat. The car to rotate here. There goes Hodgson moving down the lawn, letting him go. Only has maybe the 19 to deal with here, who is moving on to the final in the in-season challenge. Just has to keep it clean for the next 2.5 laps. Galata looking to get himself to victory lane again in this series. Would be just his second top 5 all year, but more importantly, his first win. 2 to go.
Oh, he probably has white knuckles on the wheel. He's probably like, please, God, nothing can end this for me. Please, keep it green. I just got to get through this last couple corners. Come on. He's holding that wheel strong. You know it.
White flag is out. Final time around from North Wilkesboro in what has been a marathon here tonight. The last time he went to victory lane was during that impeccable first season at Richmond. Tonight, the 99 puts together outright dominant speed for the short to mid run and takes the win here in Wilkes County.
That was an absolute butt whooping.
Words from race control, specifically from that mark. And now it's Galata who gets to burn it out. Second time in the FLCC era in this series, getting the job done here tonight.
Oh, he's probably so dang happy in that Bigfoot Chassis Collective, able to get the first win on the season. And think about it, this is a very competitive field. We got pro drivers, we got Coke Series drivers in this field. And today, Joseph Galata just brought the stuff, and he is absolutely, he's probably on cloud 9 right now.
Celebration time and burnout time indeed for the 99. This was a dominating one with 372 laps led. Gets the win by almost 3 seconds over Lim. Giglio, he was top 3 most of the evening, finishes in 3rd. Delaney and Conklin. Conklin was 2-3 laps down at one point. Comes away to the top 5. Benefield, O'Brien Jr., Basin, Duggar, Vroom Vroom, the top 10.
11th tonight will be the driver of the 29. Tanner Marty, great night tonight. Ralph Hutchinson, P12. Got Robert Miller, Tyler Hunter, and Lucas Hoytsma all 1 lap down. 2 laps down by him lonesome is Brandon Hastings. 3 laps down, Casey Graves. 4, 5, that is Corey Moore and Tunner Truel and Nolan Hodgson, your top 20.
Throw it back to the 21st position, Stephen Williams, followed by Dustin Hall, Devin Medeiros, Jose Medina, William Owens at the top 25. Anderson, 29 laps down, 26, still was running. Emmon down 27th, Komacheski, Mullins, Mesnard, top 30. And Brian Wortman was the driver who finished at the tail end of the order.
First.
Joseph Galata, I think, broke into the broadcast booth here, and he's celebrating a victory. Your second in FLCC in the past 2 years, your first of the season. You dominated this one. How was that car so fast?
I found some things over the last I'd say 24 hours that I think I'll be able to take to every short track. Car was on rails. I don't know what else to say.
I'm guessing you're not sharing with the class, right?
No, not yet. They'll figure it out.
Well, that being said here, in terms of this track, how was it trying to handle this facility compared to the 1987 version that many people learned this facility at on the sim?
I'm a huge fan of the 87 version. I didn't really like this one all too much for a while since they gave it to us, until I figured out the rhythm you need to use to get around here fast. With that being said, I mean, they are both good in their own respective ways. That track has a little bit more character, but this track felt really racy. A lot of different grooves you could run. You really could, it bodes itself to people that know how to use their throttle and brake pedal with art. So
obviously you get your first win of the season here. Your second, both of them on short tracks here. Here comes the next question, though. Do you plan to run the Brickyard, and what's your game plan if you are?
I have something I think that's going to be pretty good for the Brickyard. I'll probably show up for the Brickyard. I really like racing that track. It's only 4 corners and a lot of throttle, but there is some sort of technique to it. We were really good there last year when we showed up, and just untimely mistake by me on a restart took that away. But yeah.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Paul Hill and Richard Garcia. It's just the 3 of us over at Bigfoot Chassis Collective. Garcia was on vacation this week, so it was really just me and Paul this week. He ended up having to go down. He had to miss the race tonight. He ended up going down, hanging out with a buddy or something like that. And I wrenched on this thing because he ran, his Wednesday league and OB Builders. Car wasn't too good for him there, so I just wrenched on it, and I found some secret sauce, and that thing was really good. Had to fix it after the first run. I had it in the racetrack a little too much, was too gripped up in the rear, so I burnt the fronts off. But after I got it out of the track, this thing was nasty.
Once again, Joseph, absolutely. Congratulations on the victory here tonight, Joseph.
Thank you.
Joseph Galata gets the job done here tonight. Lem, meanwhile, finished off in the second position. He's with Kirk.
June Salim, my God, top 2 tonight. You, sir, had yourself a heck of a race car. But, gotta ask you, did you have fun out there tonight? And also, tell me what you learned from tonight, and just tell me the whole story.
Throughout the race, I kind of burned my right front out. So, yeah, I kind of learned from it, but thankfully, Race EPI gave me a fast setup, Jared Liebert. And Giglio was finding up with Golota out there, so I mean, it was heck of a rocket ship. And yeah, I mean, we had to learn through there, but as the night went on, I feel like we had the best car out there in terms of long run pace.
Well, I got to tell you, it's P2, absolutely phenomenal night for you. Got to ask you there, what would you say is the most pivotal moment of the race for you to be able to get this position this afternoon?
I mean, I would say when the cautions came out during the green flag cycle, that kind of saved us there because, yeah, I mean, we got the track position, and plus I saw guys like Benefiel basing Conklin, I think. Yeah, they all pitted and then they lost so much track position, and then that cost them like potential stage points and good finishes as well. So happy that strategy went our way, and looking forward to next week.
Absolutely. Now, June, so before I let you go, anybody you want to shout out?
Of course, I want to shout out Race EPI, Jarrett Liebert, Tyler Hunter for letting me for run EPI points. I mean, a lot of people I want to thank, but this week, I mean, the car was probably the best short track car I've ever driven. I mean, it's really good.
Well, again, I am so proud of you, buddy. It's very fun to see you up there and do so good. So, congratulations on P2, and we'll see you next week at Indianapolis.
I appreciate it.
Yep, you got it. Back to you, Justin.
I'm going away in second tonight. Blake Giglio, meanwhile, had a whole fan club cheering him on here tonight from P3. Blake, what happened in that final run, though?
Yeah, I thought, to start off the race, I thought our balance was really good. We started sixth there, and we were able to, work our way up, at the end of the first stage, to win stage one. So I think we just kind of struggled to keep up with the track, as the night went on. I don't think we adjusted enough on it. We kind of, it was fast early, we kind of kept it the same, and I think that kind of hurt us at the end. But, it was a really fun race, racing all those guys up front. Shout out to Joseph there for getting the win.
It definitely looked like you had a solid car here for the long run, at least here. What was kind of the approach you took to make sure you had the speed for that long run? And also, was that in part with how you were using that apron a little bit in 1 and 3?
Yeah, for sure. I think, since the runs were so long tonight, I think it was really worth, being able to back up your entries a little bit early on, kind of like keep the guys, behind you, but not, pass you to lose track position. So, the plan was just kind of save for the first 20 or so and then kind of pick up the pace. So, we just kind of struggled with the short run speed kind of, all night. But, overall, really good car. And, that apron, I think, did help with the rotation, into the corner.
So that in mind here, what's the game plan for more starts this season in the 8 car?
Yeah, so I think, we're going to run definitely, Iowa, Richmond, the plate tracks, kind of, hit or miss schedule, just kind of, depending on the real life stuff that we got going on. So yeah, I plan to be back and hopefully we can park this thing in victory lane. Any shout you'd like to give here tonight? Yeah, I want to give a shout out to you guys for broadcasting, everyone that puts this thing on. I want to give a shout out to Price Chopper, Coca-Cola, Kansas City Pioneers, all those guys over there. Shout out to Case for helping me all week. Shout out to DPI and just, everyone that makes this possible. Congratulations on the top 3 tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you. Blake Giglio cut away with the top 3 this evening. I'd like to thank the entire top 3 for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. Kirk, your final thoughts on tonight, as it was definitely a track that tested everyone's abilities. We've seen the best drivers of the night really shine brightly on those who were able to preserve the Goodyear Eagles tonight. I got to tell you, I'm real surprised by tonight's run. Dale Jr. Lawncare Service 450 really did not disappoint in terms of who was up front. I mean, this is not a normal race from what I've seen this season so far. We had a lot of new guys up in the front. June Salim getting second place. Of course, the winner of the race today, Galata, hadn't seen him win all year long. Got his first win of the season tonight. I can tell you right now, this race tonight is going to be a pretty good, dang good one to look back on. I don't see a single ounce of controversy to go screaming about. It was altogether a wonderful NASCAR race. That's all I got to say about that. It's definitely an entertaining one. And remember, next time out, we go racing at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That is set to be July the 25th. Be sure to tune in for the 400 mile with the Brickyard 400. Once again, here on Maconi Entertainment. On that note, it's time to say goodnight for this evening's coverage. For producer Howie Burrows, for
For my co-announcer Kirk Mills, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Watching tonight's coverage of the FLCC from North Wilkesboro. Congrats to Joseph Galata, your winner from Wilkes County.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.